Hello, you guys. What's going on? This is Fabio Hart. Here, this is a bit tight here. I'm coming here. You're gonna see me look away. I had to write some notes down for this particular video, uh, because because I have so much material right here on this channel. I think what happens is it's almost like a college course. Okay, right here on my channel, YouTube, official Fabio Hart. It's almost like a college course. And what I mean by that is that I know I have so many videos and I talk about so many different dynamics of the commercial and the residential side, from the startup side to, briefly about taxes and publicity and all phases of business. Because again, this business, uh, it's what you make it, just like anything, right? So I jot down some notes because I'm going to take it back to the basics on this particular video. That's why I titled "Building Your Cleaning Business from Scratch." Okay, um, let's talk about the breakdown of the money. Okay, here's the thing. Like when I first started my commercial cleaning business, when I first started, um, with each account there was a set dollar amount that I had to make. Okay, now anything over what I thought was like, okay, it was extra for me. So in my head, I feel like I had to make, with this particular contract, big, small, or otherwise, I had to make at least $100. Okay, and this is how my $100,000 like game plan came about, right? Because it really don't take that long to make $100,000 in this business. Okay, with the proper training and building your system, etc., etc. Okay, you can really make $100,000 easily. Now, when I say $100,000, I'm talking about $100,000 gross. Okay, not necessarily what you have in pure profit, what you have in the bank in your personal account. I'm talking about $100,000 gross. Okay, so it's not difficult to do that. But if you break the money down in such a systematic way, you will be able to get to that figure. Okay, so and it's crazy because there's many ways that you can get to $100,000, right, in this business. Okay, or $50,000. There's many ways that you can do it. But like I say, in the very beginning when I first started, there was a minimum base that I had to make. Okay, so I want you guys to have that same mindset. I want you to go in, when you go do your walkthroughs and you're going door to door, you're picking up the phones, you're using Facebook or whatever platform or whatever method of marketing you use. When you go in any given account, when you go to any given account, you need to know in your mind, for your specific causes and reasons, you need to know what is the very least that you would take monthly from any given account. Okay, because here's the thing: as you grow, you get bigger. Your demand, your lifestyle change, the demands, that different things change up, right? And it's not going to be the same as it is now in your struggling portion of your business, right? It's not going to stay the same. When you get more money, you're going to have more problems, you're going to have more issues, you're going to have bigger things, right? The more and more you get, the more and more this stuff is going to come about. So like I say, with that being said, to really start back from the basics again, go in with a set number that you know that you need to make. And that's just on a monthly basis from any given account. I'm talking about the least amount that you have to make. I'm not saying you go in, you say, you know what, each account I got to make $400 on, at least $400. Okay, be something realistic. Like me, on each account, I had to make at least $100. Okay, so let's take this here. Okay, 1 second, you guys. So let's just kind of break it down here. I was just thinking of a way that I can get you guys to look at it from a small scale. Okay, so let's take $100, right? Okay, and you get 10 accounts. Okay, $100, you get 10 accounts. That's going to put you at $1,000. Okay? And you multiply that times 12. Okay? And that's $12,000. Okay? That's 12. That's just on the very small scale. That's $12,000 annually, if you look at it from this particular example. Okay? And that's just going into it with the mind frame that, okay, the least I need to make is $100 per account. Okay? That's looking at it from a very, very small scale. Okay? So if you take, again, our $100 example, you multiply that, let's say, times 10 accounts, right? And we're looking just being very realistic with the, because I could have said 100 accounts, right? Or I could have said 1,000 accounts. In your mind doesn't process that, because when your mind look at 100 accounts, your mind look at that the subconscious is like, wow, that's a lot of accounts. That's a lot of work I got to put in. But I think it'd be very easy for you guys to see yourself with 10 accounts, okay, opposed to 100 accounts or 1,000 accounts. Okay, it's doable, but we've been realistic with these numbers here. So $100 times 10 accounts, that puts you at $1,000, right? So that's $1,000 a month. Okay, now this is your very base, your very minimum, you guys. I'm not telling you to strive to make $12,000 annually, okay, or to make $1,000 a month. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying definitely is be realistic going into those walkthroughs. In your mind, you know what you need to make at the very minimum, what you're not going to take less than, okay? And in my head, back in the day, like I said, that was $100. I know I had to get at least $100 per account, okay? Obviously, I'm going to make more the more that they have me on, the more days I work, right? The more time I put in, right? The more anything extra that I have, because a lot of you guys are leaving a lot of profit on the table. You giving away money. You're giving money back to the client, because a lot of you guys are doing extra work and not charging extra money for that. Okay, if you're just joining me, I want you to like, share, and subscribe, guys. I'm trying to help you out here from a very systematical, very simplistic way. Okay, so I want you guys to understand this, okay, because a lot of you guys are starting from the ground up, right? You're trying to build it from the ground up. So look at it from that perspective. Look at it from that perspective. Say, okay, I need to make at least X, Y, and Z per account, okay? And it might sound like I'm repeating this stuff. It's just some of you guys are coming on late, so I want to make sure you guys get it, you know. Like I said, I do have a few notes here. So again, I'm talking about building totally from scratch. Set in your head whatever that figure is. If you want to use the $100 figure just to kind of play with, you say, you know what? Each time I walk in the door, I have to make at least $100 per month. Okay, now your goal is to obviously make more than that at any given account, but at the very least, even if you're just cleaning it once a month, you're going to have those accounts where you clean once a month, twice a month, or whatever. You need to make at least $100 for that particular account. By the end of the year, that's going to put you at like $12,000, right? If you use the example that I just gave, if you $100 times 10 accounts, it gave you $1,000. Multiply that times 12, that gave you $12,000, right? That's just for that very simple example, okay, with using simple numbers. Okay, another thing I want to talk about, make it make sense. That's what I have here on my notes. Make it make sense. And what do that mean? Make it make sense basically means to me that because I know that I have to wear all the hats. I don't know if it's a glare. Let me see. Because I know I have to wear all the hats in the beginning, you guys, so do you. You have to wear all the hats in the beginning. You have to make it make sense to you, okay? In the very beginning, it was very daunting to me, right? Because I didn't know a lot of stuff, right? Even though I was a college graduate and I knew business and I got the papers and all of that stuff, right? When it came down to being hands-on with this stuff, I read the course and all of that stuff. After that, when it came down to being real hands-on, like I had to make it make sense to me. I didn't have really no guideline. I didn't have a Fabio Hart as you guys have now that can help me build a system. I did have mentors and motivators and people that I can call and ask certain things, but those guys are so busy they'll keep me on the phone for 2 minutes at the very longest and 60 seconds at the very least. Okay, so whatever they told me, it would be within the 2 minute span or 60 seconds. Okay. Thank you, Stephen. So you have to make it make sense. The way you have to do it, a lot of you guys kind of get caught up in the, I want to make a lot of money. I need to get my buffers. I need to get my wax machine. I need to get my carpet cleaning machine. A lot of you guys' mind are in the wrong area. The wrong area. You have to make it make sense to you. If you don't have a lot of money starting out with, you have to realize, well, I don't have a lot of money, so I can't pay a lot of people to do a lot of things that need to be done. Therefore, there's something that I have to do. Okay, this is where that make it make sense comes about. For me, I was in that bandwagon. I didn't have a lot of money to pay people to do stuff for me in the very beginning, but I had enough money to invest in a certain course or the books and this and this and that. So that's what I did. I soaked up as much information on laws in Michigan, taxes, bookkeeping. I utilize YouTube to the hilt, and from the time from 2012 up until now, YouTube did change considerably, a whole lot. There's even more videos now than that was available to me back then in 2012, right? So, but even with that information, I still found a way to make it happen. Again, make it make sense. So you got to wear all the hats at one time in the very beginning. So once you start your business up, okay, you got your DBA, you know, your LLC, your whatever structure, right? Your business structure. You got your business account. You got your EIN number. Okay, you got your insurance. You got, I need that direct call. Okay, yeah, just email me. I'm assuming you're saying that you need me to call you. Just email me, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Leave your name and number there, and my assistant will get it over to me. So, like I say in the very beginning, you guys, what you have to do is itemize your business. You have to break it down in little pieces in which you can understand. Okay, because if you do it from a larger scale, your mind is going to be all over the place and you won't be able to process it. Okay, you won't be able to get your business off the ground. So once you do the, let's say, the startup process, then you have to start marketing. Okay, marketing is a step-by-step thing that you have to do. Okay, you don't want to just try to clutter your mind with where to start. Just start somewhere. Okay, so if you're going to start with, let's say, flyers, then run a flyer campaign, right? Keep doing the flyers for a minute to see if you get traction. Okay, sometimes it's what's on the flyer that don't get you hired, and sometimes it's not what's on it, it's how much information you put out, how many flyers are you putting out there, how many people are you reaching. Okay, so sometimes it can be the verbiage, and then sometimes it could be, you know, your determination. You're not doing enough, basically. Okay, same thing with the phone calls. So you have to build yourself a little system. Okay, and the way I did it, I had to find out what worked and what didn't work. That's why you guys hear me talk more about going door to door, or you hear me talk more about cold calling. You hear me talk more about these two things because this is what my system consists of, right? This is what allowed me to get more accounts than ever before. Okay, it's those two. Now, some people might say, well, Fabio, why you never mention, you know, online marketing? Why you never say anything about, you know, postcards or, you know, flyer marketing and this, that, and the third? Okay, the thing is that I found what worked for me. Okay, so that's kind of what I teach here, because if it doesn't work for me, why would I necessarily want to teach you that, right? Because the reason you guys watch me is so you can learn how to run your cleaning business or start a cleaning business in a very systematical way that it works for you. So if I tell you a bunch of stuff that I know about marketing, but I'm not necessarily using, it's not necessarily working with me, I'm prolonging your process to be successful in this industry, right? So I tell you what worked for me and give you little tips and pointers on how to go about to do that. But the ultimate goal is to stay persistent at that, okay? So you have to make it make sense. Uh, I have here the beginning of building a system. Well, I pretty much covered that. Okay, so you have to break it down again in bite-sized pieces. When you first start out, you got to wear all the hats. Okay, so it might take for you to get a book on just about any and every subject in business. Okay, because business is business as a whole. Okay, so that's what I want to put out there. The whole meat and potatoes of this thing is your marketing. It's not what equipment you have. It's not what solutions you done bought, right? It's not the startup process. Okay, those are the easy parts of the business, right? It's the marketing. It's the marketing and stand very, very active with it. Okay, so again, you guys, you have to make it make sense. I did the breakdown of the money. Like I say, when you first go in the very beginning, you have to know exactly what's the absolute least you would take for any given contract. Okay, and put that in your head. Like I say, that's what I did. When I first started, I say, look, I don't have a lot of money that I'm working with. I have to make at least $100 per account. At least $100. Of course, I wanted to make more, but I had to make at least. Watching from one of my clients' facilities. Hello, what's up, Fabio? Hey, how's it going, bud? So you have to make at least, or for me, I had to make at least $100. Okay, so that was my philosophy. That was my mindset going in. Again, when you go and you do the walkthrough, you're listening, you're taking notes again, but you have to know what the least dollar amount that you would take. Now, some people say, well, Fabio, I have to take less in the very beginning, and that's very well true. Okay, but you have to give yourself some type of guideline, because you don't want to just be taking $50 here, $70 there. Okay, you want to be able to set in your head that you have to make a certain dollar amount every time you go into that building. Okay, every time you go into that building, you have to make yourself a certain dollar amount. Hopefully you guys understand me with this. Now, here's the thing, and people, let me see here. Okay, now, Nianta Chat, I think I said that right, said with good record keeping for your business, you can write everything down versus using a computer. I'm old school. Yeah, well, the thing is, I was talking to one of my subscribers the other day. The thing is that we do manually write things down, right? We do have a good record keeper system, but everything is mostly computer generated, okay? Because that's just the day and age that we live in. Okay, so it's easy to format on the computer, right? But you do want to have a backup, because I'm the type of guy that thinks that at any given time shit can go left, shit can go wrong with these computers. All right, its technology is not made to, everything is computerized, right? It's not made to 100% stay active and not crash, right? So that's why I always record it in a record keeping book first, right? That's like my little backup thing, okay? And then it's inputted into the computer, okay? Whatever data is, whatever numbers, whatever it is, right? You input it into the computer, and then at that time you can print it off, you guys. You can keep a log of what your numbers are like, how much is going out, what's coming in, right? Your profit and loss sheets and all of this stuff. Again, all of that stuff can be computerized, right? But you'll want to kind of keep it organized. So in other words, you want to know, well, what was your profit and what was your loss, let's say if you break it down to quarters. Again, I'm a bite-sized piece type of guy. I like to break things down. Okay, break it down, because when you look at it from a whole, it's magnitude to a level in which you can't really comprehend, and a level in which you can't understand. And when you're a one-man show, it seems very daunting. It is daunting, right? You feel like you can't really get this shit done because you like, man, I got to do so much. Plus, I still have to live. Plus, I got to take care of my family. Plus, I got my daughter, my right? You got all these other responsibilities. So, to make it easier for yourself, you want to break it down. Break it down to the lowest common denominator, okay? And then watch yourself start progressing. Watch yourself start winning at that point. How did you get your first apartment contract that they already have a current cleaning company at the time? Okay, Kevin want to know, how did I get my first apartment Okay, I see what you mean. Thanks. Yeah. So Kevin want to know, how did I get my first apartment complex? I first started off cold calling, and it did not work. I got my first. It's a town, actually, we still have it to this day. It's a apartment complex in a little city called Pontiac, right? It's just north of Detroit, Pontiac, Michigan. We still have that contract to this day, okay? And that's from day one, from when I started. That was my first contract. The way I got that contract is through a sales letter. I sent them a sales letter that we sell, that we offer through my company. Okay, now it's changed quite a bit, just a little bit, but I sent them a sales letter. I was very aggressive with the sales letter. They received it, they read it, they gave me a call. Okay, and then I drove out and handled business from that point. As far as putting in a bid and how we was going to structure things and how we were going to do things. Okay, so this was many, many years ago. I don't go after apartments as much these days, but the apartments that I've gotten either off of a flyer or I've gotten off of a sales letter. Okay, and that's going door to door. So that's how they would have gotten my flyer, or that's how they would have gotten my my sales letter. Either I mailed it out to them, or I would take it in on a door to door type of angle. Okay, so but that's how I got my very first contract with an apartment, on a sales letter. Neonta said, "Okay, I see what you mean." Yeah, so that's how you do it. You want to have it where you can understand it, because sometimes you can read stuff from a book, and that seems like more pressure than reading it from the screen, from the computer screen, right? So if you can book it, manually first, write it in manually, and then have some software program, right, or some data program where you can key that information in and have it online. That way, it's just at a click. And then you can always print that information off and keep, hard copies of it. I'm going to give you guys a trick. I'm going to tell you guys, this is something that I really hate to give my coaching stuff away on live, but I just want you guys to win so much. So I'm going to give you guys a little trick here. Then again, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to do that because I give so much value here. So it was something that I wanted to tell you guys because it came to my mind talking about how I got this apartment. And since we were talking about breaking the data down, breaking the numbers down and things like that, it's something that I wanted to share with you guys. But if you want that information, then damn sure, let me see. Let me see here. She say it. No, I'm going to leave it for my coaching. Let me see. They got $1 million for cleaning outside janitorial because homeless issues in San Francisco, Oakland. How would you start outside company pressure washing, stuff like that? The same way. You go door to door, let them know what it is, that you observed on the outside for pressure washing. Whether you pressure washing a home or pressure washing a the sidewalk or pressure washing the commercial building. The same way, you use the same philosophy. You go door to door, let them know that you exist, let them know what type of company you have, let them know what you noticed, on their building or in front of their establishment. You know, give them an estimate for the job. If they want you to do the job, they'll pick you up. If they don't, they won't. Now, what I would suggest you do, if it was me, what I would do is try to pick them up as a commercial account. Because if you pressure wash a business, I was talking to a lady about this before. She wanted to pressure wash homes. She has the equipment and everything. And that's fine. I'm not against the pressure washing business. There's a lot of money to be made in that business. But there's not a lot of reoccurring money to be made in that business. And what I mean by that, like on a, let me see here. I got a text message. 1 second, you guys. So what I mean by that is that if you come and pressure wash my home, and once you get the dirt off or whatever debris, whatever you have to get off, then you're done until I need you again. But if you come and clean my home and you're doing it on a regular basis, or my office and you're doing it on a regular basis, then you can continue to bill me, right? So you don't want a service where you're gonna just do it one time and then you always have to be looking for clients, right? You always have to be looking for clients. You want something that you can continue to build upon, right? You can continue to build. It's like a mechanic. If you fix my car, then I don't need you no more until maybe another 3 months, 6 months until something else go wrong. But a mechanic always have to be advertising because they always need new clients to come in the door to keep revenue coming, right? Now, sure, if you do a good job, that person will come back to you when something else goes wrong with that vehicle. But as long as that vehicle running straight, there's no problems, then there has to be another way for you to have income coming in and continue business, continue to pay bills. Okay, so that's the way I look at like carpet cleaning, window cleaning, other portions of the cleaning business. Again, those are great avenues. But like window cleaning, we do window cleaning within my company. Once you clean the windows, unless you have an account set up where you're going to do this on a more consistent basis, a weekly basis, a bi-weekly basis, whatever the case, then this is always going to be a one-time cleaning. Okay, the same thing with residential. The same thing with residential cleaning. A lot of people call me and say, Fabio, I got this residential account, but they only want me to clean one time. Like they only need me, one time. So now I got to pick up another contract. Well, it's going to be hard for you to eat if you clean a person home once a month. Okay, because that's what they hired you to do, or they just hired you for a one-time cleaning. Okay, so that's why I'm a big fan of commercial cleaning, right? Because even if you get one account that you clean once a month, and then you get another account that's more regularly, so you'll clean a building more regularly than you'll probably have with this residential home. You would be able to build a building more regularly than you will with a power washing situation. So what I would suggest somebody to do is pick the client up as a ongoing reoccurring service where you can keep billing them, like commercial cleaning. Okay, you can keep building them at commercial cleaning, and then let them know that you notice this, that, and the other. You notice their windows is bad. You notice they need some power washing done. They have graffiti, or they have this, or they have whatever's going on in their building. And you can upsell that as an extra service that you offer and make more money on that account. And perhaps lock them in. So you can say, you know what, every 6 months we power wash, your building, and we give you a considerable break saying that we have you as a client already for commercial cleaning. Okay, so you'll be able to discount that service for them, right? You'll be able to discount that service for them because you are already cleaning on a more consistent basis for them already. Same thing I do with carpet cleaning. One of my leads that I like to go into is I'll offer them a free carpet cleaning, providing they stay with me for a year. Now my contract only says is for 3 months, but I already know that if I can have my contract set up for 1 month, and they're going to stay with me for years on end because I know the type of work that we're going to do. Okay, it's going to come second nature to us. You know, like they know that they'll be in great hands. Like they don't have to switch any commercial cleaning company again, right? Like I said, so I generally offer that free carpet cleaning if they stay with us for a year. A lot of times a company will stay with you for a year just to get a free carpet cleaning. Okay, because they think that they're saving more money doing it that way than if they hire somebody just outright to come in and clean the carpet. They think, well, hell, they're going to give us a free carpet clean. We'll just stay with them for a year, right? But we're building them month after month, right? We steady building them month after month, month after month, month after month. So by the time it's time for us to do that free carpet cleaning, you guys, we've already built them enough that they didn't pay for the carpet cleaning job itself. Nothing is ever free. When you go into a store and they say, well, you get a bag of M&Ms, you buy one, you get one bag free. It cost them, every unit that was put into that store, it cost them money for that unit. So what they did was equip the price in such a way that in your mind, you're thinking that you're getting these M&Ms free. Well, I might as well get two because, you know, one is going to cost such and such a dollar. I might as well get two because, hey, the second bag is free. It's not free. It's all equipped in the price that you paid. Okay? It's part of marketing. It's all equipped in the price that you paid. So like I said, you guys, this is, you know, you have to break. That's why I tell you guys, break your business down in pieces, in bite-sized pieces. Okay, so this is why I titled this video, Building Your Cleaning Business from Scratch. Okay, because it can be done, but you have to formulate a system. My biggest thing early on, and I'm going to be totally honest, is I didn't really want to invest in too much books and tapes and stuff like that. Even though I know I needed that stuff, I would scour the internet on books. Every book, if you name a book, unless it's a more newer book, I probably own all of the older cleaning books. It's probably part of my library, right? If you ask me, I probably own that book, right? And the thing is that I found out all of those books were saying the same thing, right? So I started thinking that everybody was copying off of each other, right? Everybody was like stealing information from each other and just changing the name and the title on the book and writing another book, right? So I just stopped kind of buying books about cleaning and this and that, residential cleaning, this type of cleaning, window cleaning, this and that, right? Because they were all saying the same thing. Okay, so again, like I say, you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. Paperwork is king. Paperwork is king. If your paperwork is shitty, that's going to say a lot about your company. Okay, if your paperwork is shitty, that's going to say a lot about your company. That's why I've sold so many contracts and so many of our paperwork, all of our different forms and things like that, because paperwork is king. Like, if your paperwork don't say what it needs to say and it's not protecting you, man, you going out the world ass backwards, so to speak, okay? Now, you can start off with the generic, let's say agreement, a generic contract, whatever the case is, just a basic one, right? Everybody has. I started off with a basic one, but I learned really, really quick that we live in a litigation type of society. I learned very, very quick that if it's not written in there, people will try to get over on you. So that's why my contract changed like up to 6 times, right? Let me see here. Somebody, what's the beat way to get people to notice your flyer? Neonta, I'm going to definitely come back to you. I got you. Let me get Kevin first. Kevin say, what's the beat way to get people to notice your flyer? Is the best way to go and leave it with the receptionist hanging on the door? Well, both of those ways work, Kev. If you go, let's say, and you after hours, then obviously you would just leave a flyer. You want to make sure that you leave it where they will see it. You don't want to necessarily put it in the mailbox or something. You want to make sure that they see it. So I would probably suggest you have a door hanger or something like that. Or you can leave a flyer. They just have to see it. Okay? I would prefer you give it to someone than leave it, because here's the thing. If you left a flyer, let's say this building where I'm at now, somebody can come and leave a flyer right now. But guess what? I'm here at the site right now. So if I see that, it's a good chance that I could take that flyer and I could shred it up and no one ever know the flyer was left, right? Because obviously I don't want anybody soliciting this business because, excuse me, because we clean here, right? So that's what I'm saying. So you have to be strategic when you leave it. So I would normally tell people, not that a company can't be cleaned on a Sunday, but I would tell people, if you're going to leave a flyer, try to leave it Sunday evening. Set Sunday night, you're going door to door, you leave it Sunday evening, and then the first thing Monday morning, they'll see it when they come in. Okay. Because in my mind, I'm thinking that, okay, really ain't nobody going to be cleaning this building. Now, I don't know that this will or won't happen, but I'm in my mind, I kind of sold myself that, okay, if I leave this flyer, you know, I better leave it on Sunday. That way they can see it first thing and they can get it before the cleaning crew get it, if they have a cleaning crew. Okay. But the best way I would suggest that you do, Kevin, is leave it with the receptionist. And you want to point out a few things on there. You don't want to just go in and hand them a flyer. If you got what I call an irresistible offer on there, you want to let them know about your irresistible offer. Yes, if you guys act by May 15th, we offering free window cleaning. If you guys act by May 15th, we offering half off the first month cleaning, half off the second month cleaning, your third month free, whatever your irresistible offer is. Okay, you want to point that out to the receptionist. Okay. But first and foremost, when you go in and do your door-to-door, you want to try to identify who the decision maker is and see if you can see him or her first, and then give it to them personally, instead of just walking in and say, hi, I'm, you know, Kevin at such and such a cleaning. Here's my flyer. Here's my business card, and leave out. Okay, you want to see if you can get to the decision maker, and then you leave that with them personally. If you're not able to get to the decision maker at that point, is when you want to leave it with the receptionist. Okay. And as I tell people all the time, it's always great to establish a relationship with the receptionist. Don't belittle them. Don't look down on them, because they are the middleman between you and the decision maker. And if you belittle them, or you have an attitude with them, or you mistreat them or misuse them, then they might make sure that your shit never get to the decision maker based on your attitude. Okay? So want to have a great attitude. Nianta, she said, have you ever had hired employees and had them try to take over your business? Yes. Which is why my contract changed. I had my people sign a non-disclosure and a non-compete. I also have a line in my contract that protects me from that type of business on both ways, where my employee can't solicit my account and where my client can't solicit my employee for business, right, to take over. Okay, so, and it's signed and dated in there. It's a clause that I have in there. Again, I understand this business because I've been doing it for a little bit now, right? And I learned very, very fast that people that I hired in, once they see how easy it seemed, and once they see how much money it seemed like I'm making, then they be like, well, I can do this. I'm already working here. And then they may solicit your client. Again, in the paperwork, you have to have it in your paperwork. You have to have a nice, tight put agreement where somebody won't try you like that. Okay, I was tried like that before, and I won't be tried like that again. Okay, my paperwork is airtight, and I'm ready to call the lawyer and go to court for any reason if someone wanted to try me like that. The last time I had that happen, I pointed it out to the vendor. I fired the vendor. It was a vendor, and he actually did carpet cleaning for me. Okay, so what he did is, you know, number one, you always want to be the middleman between the vendor that you have working at, let's say, at a contract, and the actual client. You don't want them to speak at all. You want everything to go with you, okay, if it's all possible. Well, for this particular reason, this was a national company, so it was always people in there. So my carpet cleaning company came. They was, you know, hobnobbing and talking with the other people, and my carpet cleaning service or person try to solicit my company, my client, when I wasn't around. He was doing the job and stuff like that, but he was trying to solicit my client when I wasn't around, and he forgot what he signed for me, right? So I had received a call the next day stating that they wanted to let our service go and wanted it to go in effect immediately. So I asked him why. What was the problem? I hadn't known of anything that was going wrong. Now, this is a national company. Like if I said the name, all everybody on this live would know who this company is. So it's a real big company, and for me, it meant a lot because we were making a considerable amount of money on it. I will say right now, we still clean for this company today, but I'm gonna give you the story of what happened and why your paperwork is a must. Why your paperwork is a must. That's why I say have the paperwork, build the system, make it, put in the small pieces, right? So to go back to the story, the client solicit, the vendor solicit my client accept, based on what they talked about. My client called me. They say, hey, we want to do away with the company. We want this to go in effect immediately. Okay, now at this point, because my contract is already written up for 3 months, after 3 months, my contract automatically turned into a month-to-month agreement. Okay, because I don't like putting people in a long contract. Just think of your communication company, your T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, whoever, right? When they tell you got a 2-year contract with us, you're like, shit. Now, if you wanted to jump shift to T-Mobile, and you're with Verizon, you got to wait it out, right? Because you're already tied down for 2 years unless you're going to pay that fee, right? So most people just wait it out, right? So they don't have to pay that fee. So anyways, to get back to the thing, he called me. I asked him what was wrong. They say, oh, it was a great service. You guys do great work. We just want to, we just want to go in a different direction, okay? Okay, so I'm figuring out like, well, what's going on, and I just wanted some answers because we didn't have any complaints. So come to find out, I found out that my vendor had solicited my client to not only do the carpet cleaning for a cheaper price on an ongoing regular basis when they needed carpet cleaning done, but he offered to do commercial janitorial service for them. So essentially, he signed my contract. He must have didn't read what he signed and the clause that I had in my contract. So what happened was, I said, well, once I found out that the client tried to hire my vendor, I talked to my contact person. My contact person said they wasn't the appropriate person at the appropriate department. Again, this is a big company. They told me I had to talk to corporate and yada, yada, yada. So I called corporate. I talked to corporate. I explained to them what happened. And I also explained to them that there was a clause in the agreement that they signed. And if they needed just a little reassurance, I can have it faxed over to them. So what I did is had the contract, I faxed over their contract, and I highlighted in the contract the clause that stated that they couldn't hire my person. Number one, my person couldn't pick them up anyway because I put them on a non-disclosure, non-compete, right? I'm very fierce now. I'm very fierce with the paperwork, you guys. That's why the paperwork is a must. It's a must. When people don't think you understand your business, they'll try you, okay? And when they try you and win, now you're losing money on a month-to-month basis. So anyway, I sent the paperwork over. They didn't care because they were a big company, so they had the money to pay out, and they wouldn't even have to go to court. Like, it's a big company, and they'd be like, fuck it, I would just cut them a check, right? So then the same paperwork, once I found out what was going on, the same paperwork, I contacted my vendor. I talked to the client first. I faxed over the agreement. I highlighted in the agreement that they signed to state that they wouldn't be able to hire any third-party vendors or employees. This was a particular vendor. This was a subcontractor to do carpet cleaning for me. He wasn't employed by me. He was subcontracted by me. It's a difference, you guys. And I had the same stipulation with my employees, where my employees can't do the same thing that the vendor tried to do. Okay, so this paperwork got to be fierce. You got to be smart with this stuff. If you're just joining me, I want you to like, share, and subscribe, you guys, because this is some powerful stuff that I'm using, that I'm sharing with you guys. And a lot of this stuff I don't talk about until I get on a coaching call, but I'm letting it out. So anyway, I contacted the vendor. I told the vendor, hey, I understand what's happening. I understand that you solicit the client for a commercial service. I say, here, I'm not sure if you remember what you signed, but I want to help you remember what you signed. So I highlighted that same clause in there, and I got the contract back over to them. Once they seen what was in the contract, they don't have the money that this big company have. They're a smaller company. It's like a one-man show, one-man company, but he was doing it for 15 to 20 years already, right? So he had extensive training and he know the business. He know what machine to use, what solution to use. He's been doing it for some time. That's why he was on my team, on my subcontractor team. You guys, I got subcontractors for everything. You know, for painting, for like if I enter homes, for pest control. I subcontractors for everything. Lawn care. Like I don't do lawn care, but I get a piece of lawn care business because I have a subcontractor for that. I don't paint, but I have painters on, you know, part of my subcontractor team, right? Window cleaning, we do window cleaning in the house, but I subcontract the work out. Carpet cleaning, we can do carpet cleaning in the house because I got the machines, but I sub the work out. I don't mind paying it. If I can get a guy that's been doing it for 15 to 20 years, whereas he has way more experience than me, I'd rather pay him good money and have him do a great job and continue to use this guy than me just do it myself. And I'm not as real, you know, specialized in it as he is. But anyway, let's get back to this paperwork. Highlighted that he's seen what he had signed and then he reneged. He contacted the client, which is my client. He said he wanted to pull out of the deal. He was like, you guys can keep them. You can keep that company because they contacted me and, you know, I did sign this and I signed that. So I want to pull out of that. So he must have forgot that that's what he signed in the very beginning. So what happened is, and we still have this client today, what happened was the client called us back. I didn't have to call them. They called us back and said, you know what, we just decided we're going to keep going with you. We're going to keep you, okay? That's only because this vendor contacted this company and told this company that he wanted to pull out. He wanted to pull out because he don't have the money that this big company has. He don't have the money that this big company. See, this big company could have just cut me a check and be like, oh, the hell with you. Here's a check. Get out of my way. This guy, he's a more smaller guy. He's been doing it. He has a business. It's a business, but he's been doing it for so long. He's specialized in this. Again, I showed him what he signed. I made him completely aware of what he signed. He called the client. He pulled out of the deal. We still have this contract today. This is an example why your paperwork is a must. Have your paperwork together. Have your paperwork. And I'm not trying to, you know, say that you guys have to have my paperwork. I would like for you to have it's going to come at a price, but have your paperwork together. Have your paperwork together. Have your paperwork together. Okay. Also, well, it's something else that I was going to say, but I normally use it on a call, on a coaching call. So I'm not going to say it. But yeah, just have your paperwork together. It's paramount. It's paramount. Okay. Your invoices. Have your invoices. Have a non-compete. Have a non-disclosure. Right? Because you don't want people coming and learning the dynamics of your company, and then they get to talking to other people, and now they're sharing information. Okay, now that's hard to enforce because you just don't know when they're talking about your company. But if you find out after they signed this document, you can hold them, you know, there's some penalties to it. You can't hold them accountable for it because they already signed off on it, right? Non-compete, non-disclosure. Your agreement, make sure your agreement is not just a basic generic agreement. Excuse me, have you had any success going after big retail stores, the JCPenney, Sears? You know what? I haven't went after big retail stores like that. I haven't went after the biggest chain store that I done went after is an Enterprise car rental place, which is due up. They do their hiring and their renegotiations and their new contracts. They do that at a certain time of the year. So I'm up for 2019, at the top of 2019, to see if I can get into Enterprise because, again, they hire and fire, I guess, at a certain time of the year. Okay, so I have to deal with them again at the top of the year, 2019. Okay, but no, I haven't tried to go after any major chains, retail chains. So, yeah. Let me see here. So yeah, so that's why I say you guys paperwork, you know, it's paramount. Have your paperwork ready even before you market. It's nothing worse than trying to go after an account and soliciting, going door to door, picking up the phones, and not having no paperwork. I've talked to many people that say they don't even have a contract, right? And they're going after accounts. Well, what if this particular account decides to pick you up and you don't have a contract, right? You don't have the estimate sheet. You don't have anything to even put your proposal on. You don't have a spreadsheet. See, my company, we have all of this. Again, we sell all of this information, but we have it. Okay, have whether you get it offline or whether you get it, however you get it, you purchase from somebody. Have all your paperwork together is paramount, because you never ever know. You never ever know when somebody's gonna be ready to hire you, and you want to be ready to be hired when that time comes. You don't want to have to say, well, oh my God, let me call Fabio. I don't know what to do, because I get that a lot. I get a lot of phone calls or a lot of emails. People say, can you have Fabio call me ASAP? Can you have Fabio call me ASAP? And then they call me and they say, man, do you still offer that the contract, man? Because I just want to, I've been thinking about buying it from you, whatever. Or do you still sell that estimate breakdown sheet? That estimate breakdown, do you still sell that, man? Because I don't know what to charge, man. And the lady, she told me I got to she wanted in tomorrow by 3 p.m. But I don't know what to charge. So I had to expedite things. Yeah, I'll sell it to them, but now I gotta try to expedite things so they'll be able to get it. So they'll be able to handle their business on their end. Okay. Let me see here. You're welcome, Deonta. Do you suggest, after doing a walkthrough, submitting a quote / estimate there on the spot, or leaving and emailing and bringing it back? I suggest that you bring it back later. Because for me, it's more, number one, more polished of a commercial cleaning company. That way you can, all the information, because you got to process this, all the information that you have, you want to make sure you're getting the right dollar amount for everything that you're doing. Everything that you're doing, you want to make sure you get the right dollar amount. You don't want to just hurry up and jump and throw out a figure, because you can be cutting yourself short. And then if you cut yourself short, you'll be caught up in the situation that I was caught up in many years ago, where you find yourself underbidding, and now you can't even put a body in there, because if you put a body in there to work for you, you're going to lose. You're not going to make no money. So you're forced to clean this account every single time that this account need to be cleaned. You're forced to clean it yourself, because you bid it so low that you can't even put a body in there. You're not going to make any money on that account, right? And I had many accounts like that where I was just wearing myself out. And the only way that I felt like I can get rid of those accounts, which I just recently got rid of 2 accounts, is I sold the accounts. So, and like I said, I see you, Cody. I'm about to answer that shortly. So those accounts that was smaller to me, that I couldn't put a person in, because again, where I'm at now, guys, I'm please, with all due respect, I'm not trying to make myself seem a lot bigger than I am, but I am on a bigger, I'm on the bigger level where I just don't have the time. I do multiple businesses. I have multiple things going on. I'm just not at a time right now where I can really physically myself work at an account, right? Work at an account. I've also had many times where I first started out, companies, they did not want me to hire someone to be in their facility, because they were used to me, because I was the face of the company. I was the one who came and did the give, does, like people. I don't understand give, does, like people. I don't understand that. So I was the face of the company, and they did not want me to hire anybody else. Like, they wanted me to be the cleaner, and I had to grow. I'm growing. So anyway, like I said, just recently I sold 2 companies, not companies, 2 contracts to other people, just to get it from under those contracts, because I wasn't really making no money on those particular contracts. I was paying an employee, but I was taking a loss on those. Okay, so it was either I have to raise the money up, and after so long of working for a specific company, to just out of nowhere try to raise the money up, they looking at you sideways like, what the fuck? No, you guys been doing it for so long. Why are you trying to raise the money up on me now? Like, you guys been doing this for so long. So I advertised those accounts for sale. And sold 2 of them. And, we went through the paperwork and things of that sort. But I sold 2 contracts because I wasn't making any money on it. Obviously, I marked it up to sell it, right? Because I had to make a profit on it. But I sold those contracts. Let me get back here, you guys. Cody asked me, have I ever ended an agreement with the client? Yes. Yes. I've ended an agreement with the client because they were trying to walk over my employee. Okay, they were trying to walk over my employee. And I also end an agreement with the client because they kept trying to pack on more work that they wasn't willing to pay for, which caused us to be in their facility a lot longer, and they weren't paying for the extra time. They didn't want to pay for the extra time. So they felt like because we were working for them, or we was contracted to work for them, that they was doing us a favor. And I guess they thought that we were smaller and we wouldn't eat. So it's like, okay, well, they're going to do this because they need us. They're not going to eat. If it's not for us, they're not going to eat. So I had to show them that it just doesn't work that way, not with me. And that's kind of why I got the big head. I praise my employees. They give me problems sometimes, like all employees do. But I feel like I know my employees now because I've had the same employees for a considerable amount of time. We add new people, and I got my inside snitches. I got to have my people who checking in and checking. I'm talking about not actual supervisors. I'm talking about people that's just regular workers, regular employees. Like I got my inside snitches that text me and that rat out other employees, right? And you got to have that, right? So again, because I can't be everywhere all the time. I got accounts in Georgia. I have accounts in Ohio, accounts in Michigan. I told you guys what happened with Virginia. I sold those accounts to a franchise there. So you guys heard that story before. But yeah, man, that's just pretty much what happened. And so yeah, I had there's times where I had to let a client go, where I had to just cancel the agreement, which is why my agreement is so special to me, because if I would have locked myself in that for a long time, then I could have been, really in some hot water. That's why I let my agreement be signed on to for 3 months, and then after 3 months, it automatically go to a month-to-month agreement. Okay, I don't like locking nobody in for a year because, again, like just look at your lease. When you lease on a car, they say you have to keep this car for at least 2 years before you can trade it in and get something else, or before you can turn it in and get something else. Whatever the case, or just think about Verizon Wireless, AT&T. You sign a contract, you have to be with them. You can't leave them until yes, my agreement would work for your business. My agreement to work in any area. How did you go get about to expand another state where in Michigan, and how long were you starting a business? Well, the expansion part was easy for me. And basically how I'm broke, but I'm thinking of buying it. It'll help you. It is like money in the bank when you use it, if you do buy it. But anyway, how did I expand to other markets is what you want to know, right? And that was Kevin. Kevin, I stayed in Ohio, I stayed in Virginia, I stayed in Georgia, right? Stay in Michigan. I tell people all the time, Kevin, you can drop me off anywhere USA and I'll be able to make shit pop commercial cleaning wise. Once I get to learn the market, I get to learn the dynamics of the area that I'm in, right? I can take that, start the business, build traction. But I first started out in Michigan. I first started the business out in Michigan, right? And I got traction, right? I got accounts. I was making some money. And then at one point I decided that I was going to move to, I think I had moved from Michigan to Georgia at the time, Atlanta, right? Same thing. So at first I'm like, oh shit, I got this business. I think I'm going to have to close it down. So I was like, well, how do I, be able to keep this but still live in Georgia? So again, that's why I say, you guys, I didn't know everything, right? I didn't know everything. So I did what I felt was common sense to me. So I'm like, well, I got to hire somebody here to run this thing for me here while I live in Georgia. So I'm thinking like, okay, what type of ad should I put out? And then it dawned on me. I said, you know what? What I'm gonna do is bump up from within. So what I did was I took an employee, a regular employee, my top employee. I bumped them up to supervisor. I gave them more money, gave them the run over everything, right? And this was in Detroit, right? Gave them the run of everything. Um, if they had any questions, they had direct contact with me. They can call me, they can text me, whatever, email me, whatever the case is. And then I let all my people know that I was going to leave, all my employees know, right, that I was leaving, going to Georgia. I also made my clients aware that, I'll be locating, but everything would, still be running. Everything would still be going on. Okay. Moved to Georgia, started up business. I was still making money in Michigan, right? Because I had took somebody that was an employee, bumped them up to supervisor, and now they were governing the rest of the employees. They were kind of doing what I do here now at this particular site. All I do here is, you see me looking up. I'm looking at, cameras here, right? I can see my employees work as I speak to you guys. All I do here is I just monitor, right? So that's all they were going to do. They were just going to monitor everything, right? Turn payroll in, make sure we got the vacuums, make sure we have the chemicals or solutions that we need, right? Whatever needed to be done. If they didn't know, they can call me and I can, assess the situation and tell them how to move and which way to go, right? So then I started this business up in ATL. I took the same format, the same formula that started in Detroit, and I set it up in ATL. The same thing, because the states are different, right? The laws are a little different, but the dynamics are the same. It's pretty much what I'm saying. So I just started building business in Atlanta. It came a lot easier in Atlanta because for whatever reason, it was just easy for me to get new. Hold on one second, Gio, I'll see you. So it was easier for me to get new contracts because I knew what I knew in Michigan already, right? And I did the same thing. So once I left Atlanta, the same thing that I did in Detroit, I did in Atlanta. I built somebody from the within, right? I didn't hire from the outside. I took somebody that was already in, I bumped them up to supervisor, and then I moved to Toledo or wherever I went from there. Can't remember if I did left there and went to Toledo or Virginia, whatever the case is. But that's how you automate it. Like that's how you put it on autopilot, right? So, and it works for me because I'm still building to this day. Let me see here. Let me see. Is it? Oh, it's Gco. I think I said Geo. You want to know what is the conversion percentage for when you go door to door? Let me see. I think for every, let's say 20 buildings that I walk in, I get, let me see, every 20 buildings I walk in, I must get maybe 5 walkthroughs. And out of 5 walkthroughs, I normally close maybe about 2, maybe 1 or 2 out of 5 walkthroughs. Okay. That's why it's a numbers game. So I'm just kind of giving you that breakdown ratio of 20 buildings because I know when I do door to door, when I go door to door, I know I at least knock way more than 20. So I just broke it down for you. You just use 20 as a number that's feasible, for this particular example. So out of 20 people, like I say, I must get 5 walkthroughs. Out of 5 walkthroughs, I usually close maybe 1 or 2 out of 5. Um, I get a lot done over the phone. Like when they do the lead generation with my company, my people that make the calls, because I hold them to a certain quota. So I have to get X amount of leads. When I mean leads, X amount of walkthroughs to do. Okay, so they're not in control of me closing the account, but they have to get me in the door. That's what they hired to make the phone calls for, right? So I give them. Do you usually go get the walkthroughs on the spot or schedule? I usually get them on the spot when I go door to door. I usually sometimes they'll ask you to come back, or they can't do it right now, or it's too busy around the office. But when I go door to door, it's more of an introduction, and I try to get the walkthrough at that time. The best way I get the walkthrough is I tell them it won't take a whole lot of their time. If we can just do a quick walkthrough, see what their needs are, I'll be able to write them up, get them a quote, get it into them by the end of the business day. Generally speaking, I get the quote in the same day. Okay, unless it's later in the day, like after getting close to after hours or getting close to like maybe 5 or 6 in the evening, then I'll say, well, if it's okay with you, we can just do a quick walkthrough. I have the quote ready for you, available by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Which means once I leave there, between that time frame and the time I finish up with the rest of my door knocking, I get home, I put together my estimate, put together my proposal, I bring it to them. I don't like to email it because almost unanimous when I call them and say, hey, I sent you the email or I sent you the fax, that you get it. A lot of times they say they didn't get it, but they didn't even check to see if it even came through. So I don't like to play games. I don't want to play games with them, right? I don't want to say, well, can you check your spam? Can you do this? Because then sure, yeah, I'll check my spam. I'll give you a call back. Give me about an hour. I'll give you a call back. Okay, I don't want to play any games with you, right? If you're gonna hire me, I want you to hire me. If you're not gonna hire me, I don't want you to waste my time. So I like to take my contracts in. I like to take my estimate in, my proposal bid, whatever you want to call it. I like to physically take it in to them, right? That way, if they have any questions about it, I can explain whatever their questions are. I can answer those questions right then and there. They don't have to call me back. They don't have to email me. They don't have to shoot me a text or nothing. So if we got a question about line number 5, well, what is it about line number 5 that you don't understand here in this proposal? Or what about this estimate or whatever, this quote, what don't you understand? Okay, well, what this means is da 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 da. You answer their questions and make sure they totally understand what they're getting for the money that they're going to be paying. Bam. Instantly, the next thing up is to do the agreement. Okay, once they accept that, the next thing up is to do the agreement. You need to ask for the sale. Okay? How would you obtain a client with trying to get their... How would you obtain a client with trying to keep their existing staff? You say, how would you obtain a client in trying to keep their existing staff? Well, that's easy to do. If they have a staff there already, you could offer that staff to come over to your company since they're already working there. I'm assuming this is what you're saying or what you're asking me. You can offer their staff to stay on board with you. So it's going to switch cleaning companies, but you would keep the same staff people, right? You have the same staff people. Now, if they want to be loyal to the company that they're working for, 9 times out of 10 they're going to leave with that company because they're used to the dynamics of that company. They're loyal to that company. They want to leave with that company. If that's the case, then you just have to bring somebody new in. I'm assuming that that's what you're asking me here. And that's for Rose. So that's that. Like I said, guys, I want you guys to really, again, paperwork is paramount. Paperwork is paramount. I got these 3 bullet points here. I said break the money down. I'm just as a recap for those that might have came on late. Break the money down pretty much is saying that you have to identify what is the absolute least that you're going to accept, what you need to make on each account, the very least that you need to make on a monthly basis on every account. Okay, so in the very beginning for me that was $100, right? Because again, I didn't know any better. I mean, now that figure has changed dramatically. But when I first came in, I'm like, dude, I can't do nothing less than $100 a month on this account. Okay, so that was just for like maybe if somebody hired me for just a one-time a month deal, right? I had to make at least $100 on that. Okay, I can't do nothing less than $100. Okay, other than that, I felt like it was wasting my time. Now, in the very beginning, I would always make a hell of a lot more than $100. But again, I would use $100 as a guideline figure that I had to make at least that amount, or I wouldn't do the job. Okay, so again, you guys, when you go and you put your numbers in, like I say, I think a lot of you guys not getting accounts because you're a little too high on your fees. Okay, what I would suggest you do is get in the door. You can always upsell them other stuff later on, like 6 months in, a year in. You can upsell them carpet cleaning. Again, if your company don't do carpet cleaning and you want to offer that, all you have to do is just take a book out of a play out of my book. You hire somebody that's been doing it for 10, 15 years, put them on a contract, on a subcontract agreement, and then hire them to do your carpet cleaning jobs, right? You would pay them a little bit more since they're doing the jobs. Did you look at how much product you used a month? Yes. A lot of our products were concentrated, so we're diluted with water. So I had a bunch of spray bottles everywhere in the very beginning. So because I would charge them monthly for a product because they would go through us to get the product. So what I would do is make a profit on the product that I sold. So no matter if I got the shit from Walmart, no matter if I got the shit from the dollar store, I would charge them every single month on product. Okay, that was just part of the cost, the monthly cost. So it would break down to itemize it. How can you know how much you need to use? Well, you would know that. I mean, you would know that easily. Like whatever you're using now, right? If you're running through it in a month time, then you might have to up the ante. Like, and what I didn't do, well, early on, what I did do it early on, but now we leave the product stationary. I see you, Tony. I'm gonna answer you right away. I'm gonna get to you. 1 second. Let me see here. If you're running through, to get back to, is it Ozzy? In the beginning, if you're using more product and you're running out of product every single month, then you might have to like double up, right? Me, I don't run through product that much because again, we get shit by the gallons, like the big jugs and stuff. And we put it into spray bottles and then dilute it with water. It lasts a little longer. We also don't hit the same spot with a whole bunch of product, right? We don't use a whole bunch of product in the same spot. And that's why people run through, they just waste product. You know what I'm saying? So you just boom, boom, boom. You hit it, get it together. If it's certain areas that you need to concentrate more, you might boom, boom, boom. Hit it another 2 or 3 times just to kind of really get it up. But we just don't run through product. You will know based on what you're using, basically is what I'm saying here. Let me get to Tony real quick. What's up, Fabio? Realistically, how much would you pay a subcontractor out of what you make? What proportion? I do 70-30. I do 70-30. You can't give the website that you use to get your product. I don't get it from a website, sweetie. I get it from a janitor supply house. Every area have a janitor supply house. All you have to do is Google it in your area. Just type in janitor supply store, and it should pop up in your area. And then all you have to do is go to the janitor supply store and get it by the gallons. Get it by the big thing. it can be pricey when you get it from there. I started off at the dollar store. I bought I would tell myself, give myself a $50 limit. That's how I started off. You heard my story before. I will buy $50 worth of product, all different shit. I have 409 cleaner, uh, uh, bubble scrub cleaner, orange scent cleaner, lemon scent cleaner, Fabuloso. I was using everything in the beginning, right? I was using everything, and what I would do in the very beginning is take the product, take it with me, because I would use the same product for other businesses. Again, because I didn't know any better. So I just did what I thought was natural. I'm like, hey, as long as they're not in here with me, they don't know what the hell I use. So as long as the building is clean, it's vacuumed, it smells fresh by the time they come in, all the strong smell will be out of the building anyway, but it still smells fresh. That was my philosophy. It worked for me, and I wouldn't change it if it worked for me in the very beginning. Like if I had to do this business all over again, I would go the exact same route that I went. Let me see here. How often do you check on all your sites? Quarterly. And who ordered the supplies for each site? Well, we have it on. It's on what we call an auto order. So after so long, because I build up business credit, so after so long, like they automatically, the way it works for me now is the product leaves the janitor supply store. It comes on a truck, like kind of like one of them U-Haul looking trucks, right? With how a U-Haul look. So it comes on that on pallets. They drop it off at my storage facility where we house the vacuum cleaners, house the cleaners on pallets. And then at that point, it's up for us to get it from there into the storage. So what happened, usually the storage people call us, or the warehouse people call us and say, hey, you guys have product here. The cleaning company, they dropped your cleaning shipment off. You guys have to get into your storage, into your facility, to your unit, right? So then we would just come and get it off the pallets and get it into the unit. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. But it's on auto. We have like an auto ship thing where they'll just go ahead and bring it in, and then they'll charge it. I got my business card. I don't have it with me now. I would show you guys, but for my credit union, I have a business check card, so they automatically just bill that, or I can have it on credit, use business credit. So yes, I have a storage facility in each state. I do. In Georgia, Ohio, Michigan. No longer have the one in VA. And I stayed in Portsmouth and in Virginia Beach. No longer have the one in VA because I don't have those contracts no more. Let me see. How much do you think? No problem. Let me see. How much do you mark up subcontractor service? What do you mean, how much I mark up subcontractor service, Gio? Yeah. You should work in your business first, Ozzy. Work in your business first. That way you know how much to use. Um, Neonta, Neonta, no problem. I'm sure they already have prices. How much? I'm sure they already have prices. How much you make a profit when you contract the work out? No, they sign my. Are you talking about my subcontractors? No, I just tell them, what we're offering, or we negotiate it. Once it's fair, we write it up. It's in the agreement. It's a percentage. Okay, so every time that they do a job for me, they're gonna get that percentage. The pricing might vary, but they'll get that percentage that we agreed upon. Okay, so, but I do pay them more, my subcontractors more than I take in because I need them, and if they do great work, I want to continue to use them. So if you pay a man good, a man will continue to work for you. He'll do great work for you. But they don't give me a price, like, because I sought them out. Like, I look for them, and I feel like I have the upper hand advantage, because if I don't use you, you might not have had no business right now, right? You might not have had no business. So working with me, you can make a lot of money working with me. So if you work with me in the price, then cool. If you need, more than what I'm offering, then it won't work. Just show them the number that you're offering them. You just show them the number that you're offering them, okay, for that job, okay, and then at that point, if they accept that number, then cool. For me, I tend to use 70%, and I take 30, okay, and which is generally 70% uh, of that number, okay. So whatever the job is, it'll be 70% of that number, and then that's what I'll pay them. If they don't accept that, or if they feel like that number is too small, or they're not gonna accept it, then I can't use them. I'm not gonna, because I had to market, or it's my account or whatever, so I can find somebody else that'll do it maybe considerably a lot less than 70%. Yes, you can send me your contracts. I'll take a look at them. Fabio, can I send you my contracts so you can look at these? Yeah, send me your contracts. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. Do I use specific brands? I do use specific brands. I can't remember exactly what those brands are right now, because certain facilities we use certain brands, because certain facilities have certain brands that they want us to use, or certain type of chemicals that they want us to use. Yep, book FabioHart@gmail.com. If you guys have contracts you want me to look at, if you guys have uh, estimates, or whatever proposals, or anything that you guys want me to look at before you ship them out, if you want me to go over the details with you, if you got something coming up, you want me to go over the details with you, I won't charge you, to look at your contracts. I won't charge you to go over the details with you, because I would be more excited that you got your account. Now I already know that if I can help you get into account, you'll come back and do more business with me. So it's I'm not really caught up on the price, as far as that. But it's book Fabio Hart, BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART. Make sure you leave your name and your telephone number so I could personally give you a call back. If you just email me, you don't put a number in there, most likely you're going to deal with Jasmine, my assistant, okay? And she'll let me know, but I'm not going to be the actual one that email you back. I'll tell her what to tell you back, and then she'll go ahead and email you that. I specifically pay her for that, right? So I don't really deal with emails, to be honest, you guys. It'll come to my phone, but I'll generally wait till Jasmine check me, give me a call or text me and let me know whatever the situation is. Okay. But I don't respond back to emails. I just get too many of them. So, but again, if you leave a number, just say, hey, I spoke to Fabio on live. Can you have him give me a call? My name is such and such. My number is such and such. And she'll get it over to me, give me the number, and I will call you. If it's something that you need me to take a look at, just send it, hey, how's it going? Can you have Fabio take a look at this contract? I already spoke to him. He already said he would. So I would take a look at it. If it's something that you need to change in there, it's something I would take out, something I would add, whatever the case is, I would let you know. Same thing with your proposals. A proposal I probably need to talk to you about, because there's probably certain things in there as I look at it, certain things that I might have questions about, so I can make sure you absolutely getting the best price that you should be getting for that. Okay. You guys have any questions? Any more questions for me? Again, we talked about breaking down the money. My bullet point number 2 is make it make sense. That's breaking your business down into bite-sized pieces. Okay, not looking at it from a whole, because when you look at it from a whole, you wind up not doing anything, right? And you get discouraged. You count yourself out. You just don't do anything. You go through all these different changes, emotions. So once you start it up, you get your business structure out the way. You get your employer identification number. You get your business checking account, your business account. You get that stuff out the way. Now it's time to go to market, okay? Where can we obtain these janitorial contract kings? King, I'm not sure if I understand what you're asking me. Are you asking me about my contracts? Then you will email me if you're asking me about my contract. bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Leave your name and telephone number there. Our person call you back and we could talk about my contract, if that's what you're asking me. If you're asking me where can you obtain someone else's contract, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me see here. Let me go back to Tony, make sure I answered his. Yep, I answered his stuff. Oh, you're calling me a king. Gotcha, king. Oh, okay. Yeah. For mine, you'll just you'll go to bookfabiohart@gmail.com. bookfabiohai. HART@gmail.com. Let me see here. What information do you get? I just make them fill out it's like an application. They fill out the application form. You got to collect a little information on them, because you got to 1099 them, because you're just they're subcontractors, right? So you're not taking any taxes out. So yeah, so you need certain information on them as a subcontractor, because again, for tax purposes. So yeah, just make them fill out a little short application, the 1099 form, and at that point you should be pretty much good to go. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, you take a copy of their license. You can do that too. Have them get a police clearance. That you can always utilize that. Let me see here. How would you respond to somebody who asks for proof of insurance if you're just starting out? Generally speaking, Tony, they don't. That's why I tell people to get smaller to medium-sized accounts, because they don't. But if they do ask for it and you don't have it, then you have to go and get it. Me, I try to stay away from that. Well, in the very beginning, right now, I'm cool with it because I have it. But in the very beginning, I wouldn't even mention nothing about insurance. I wouldn't even mention, and I would hope that they didn't mention anything. And I was able to make like pretty close to $5,000, dude, on a monthly basis. Like, and I'm talking about early on a monthly basis without insurance. And it took me like 6 months. Well, I waited 6 months before I even got insurance. Now, I'm not suggesting that you guys do that, but for me, I waited like 6 months before I got insurance. But I was the only one that was cleaning, too. I didn't have any employees at the time. I was the one that was doing all the cleaning, so I knew I wasn't going to like steal for myself. I knew I wasn't going to break shit or fuck shit up. I was very careful when I was in these facilities. and I waited like 6 months before I got insurance. Let me see here. Cody asked me, backpack vacs or upright? I use upright. I'm not into the flashiness. I'm not into, I'll tell you exactly what I use. Let me see. I think I got a picture of it. We got a lot of these little ones. They clean like champs, to be honest. I mean, it's up to you. I'm into saving money. I mean, a lot of people out here to be flashy and fancy and stuff like that. I'll show you guys exactly what I use here. I think I got a picture of it. You know what? It's in my other picture. It's on this phone that I'm recording on. It's not on there. But we used I used the Red Devil. I used the Red Devil upright. I don't have any backpack vacs. They are really popular, you know, amongst janitorial services and amongst the cleaning industry, but I don't use them. I'm not against them. They can be very pricey. They can be. And, you know, at the end of the day, you can write it off as a business expense. So, you know, you can look at it from that perspective, but I'm not really big on it. Yeah, they can be expensive. And then just think, if you got a backpack vac, right, and you got 10 accounts, unless you take that vac from account to account, you got to buy that same vac because you want to stay consistent with your vacs. In the very beginning, I wasn't consistent because I had bought my vacs from resale shops. They wasn't Red Devil, but Red Devil is like $60 vacs right now, like $50 to $60. The one that I use, very lightweight. Some people say they too noisy. For me, it's just me in there. Who gives a damn, right? It's just me. It's after hours cleaning. It's evening cleaning, commercial cleaning. So I don't care. I have my earbuds in. I'm vacuuming. My staff the same way. They listening to their iPods or whatever. I don't know. You know, on their Bluetooth, their music or whatever. Vacuuming. That's it. That's all I need them for, the vacuum, right? So again, a lot of people would discredit those vacs and say, don't be cheap and don't do this and that's your image, is this, that, and the third. Fuck that, dude. They don't care what you use to clean the facility. They're not gonna go in their janitorial closet and say, well, they may, and say, oh, he used a Red Devil. But they're gonna look at the results and it looks clean as hell in here. That little thing sure pick up a lot. That little thing does a great job, right? Again, so it just depends on the person. Depend on the person. What did I say? Red Devil? I don't know why I call it that. The Dirt Devil. Dirt Devil, yeah. Dirt Devil, that's it. Even my employees laugh at me when I call it that. I think they used to be called Red Devil at some point. Where did I get that name from? Yeah, the Dirt Devil. That's what we use. Bagless, yep, bagless. Where can I get that? Or just grab it online? You can go to Walmart. They cheap at Walmart. If you're talking about the how much is the insurance? The insurance is depending on how much insurance you get. The more you get, the more you're gonna pay. But you can, it's a certain way that you can go after insurance. I teach that actually on my coaching. Actually, I just told a guy how to get that the other day. What y'all talking about? The Dirt Devil, yeah, Dirt Devil. Bagless, yep. No, they. Yeah, you clean them, yeah. Yeah. On Target, $53. Yeah, nah. Some are 19. No. Okay. But the thin ones. Yeah, the ones that we normally get be like, I guess, from $50 to $60. And you can get them from like Walmart. You know, depending on where you get them from, it dictate the price. You know, I think they're pretty reasonable at Walmart though. But again, you guys, you don't have to get the Dirt Devil. You know, you could get, you know, whatever you want. If you want a backpack back, you can go ahead and invest in that. If you want the fancy ones with all the bells and the whistles and have the extra whatever, but insurances. Yeah, I mean, wherever you get your car insurance, you can call them and see if they offer business insurance, general liability. How do you go about processing credit cards for clients? You just you can Google that, find just a processor, you know, that you jail with. There's so many different processors out there. You can set it up. It's a lot of different ways you can accept the credit cards. You can do it with the cube, the square, right? The little adapter you attach to your phone. You can do it that way. Use your phone as a portal, or you can go through what we call like an online portal, okay? And that's where you key it in, you know, they'll give you a link to a certain site and you key all your transactions in, or you can just get the swipe, the machine, the terminal. That's going to cost you a bit more. You'll probably be cheaper getting an online portal where you can just kind of key everything in. So with mine, since it happens once a month, right, it's easy for me to do. Like a lot of my clients pay by credit card. We automatically just deduct it from the credit card or from their bank account or whatever the case is, so they don't even have to send us a check. Most people do the check, but a lot of them just give us their business credit card and we go ahead and charge it from that. But you might want to shop around. Okay, okay. Yeah, well, employee, that's workman's comp. That's a different type of situation. But any damages, thefts, accidents like that, yeah, your general liability handle that. You think $2,000 is good for a 6th floor building cleaning system, bathroom, granite, garbage sweeping, floors, window cleaning? Let's say 7 windows. Um, I would have to see it, dude. I mean, it's a lot of different factors. It's not just what you're doing in the building; it's how often you're doing it. You know, I would have to like, you know, if you want to talk to me about it, you can. I don't know if you got a proposal or if that's something that you entered, but I would suggest that you. I would suggest that you contact me and let me kind of talk to you because there's a lot of different factors. You know, you can't just go by, you know, the price. You can't just say, oh, this sounds good. It's not that big. What's not that big? What's the square footage? Visa, okay. Power force bag, upright, vac, okay, okay. I would go for it, King, my opinion. Every day. Not that big. What you mean every day? Every day like two days a week? I mean not two, 7 days a week. It depends on the workload, what needs to be done. Like I would have to go over the dynamics with you. Extra green, he said 5 days, 2 hours, 2,000, one account. Okay. Your problem is charging them. Yeah, well, I would have to see what the square footage and the whole dynamics of what needs to be done. If you want to talk to me about it and run it through based on what you collected from your walkthrough, I'll be able to better assist you with that. Okay, because I might tell you yes, and you could be doing a lot of extra work that you can be charging extra for, which will cause that rate to go up, that $2,000 rate. Okay, or that could be too high going in, because you said the facility wasn't that big. It could be too high going in, and you might lose the deal where you could have came down a lot and still made a profit on it. I tell people try not to be greedy, because the greedy become the needy at the end of the day. When you mark the price up too high, especially when you don't have a name in the industry, you don't have any references that you can draw back on or anything like that. You don't have other clients, you know. Like with me, when I lose a client, it hurts, but every time I lose one, I bounce back with two, right? So that's just my philosophy. I've always been that guy to do that. I lose one, I bounce back with two, but I don't want to lose any accounts. But if I lose an account, like let's say this account right here, this account is 4 buildings, but it take up 5 blocks. This account that I'm in right now, that you see me in, again, is 4 buildings attached to this account, 4 different separate buildings. Okay, and we clean this Monday through Friday. Okay, the weekends my staff is off here. I don't come here on the weekends or nothing. Okay, this building right here paid me between $10,000 and $15,000 monthly. Okay, now if I lose this building, this would be a large hit for me. This would be a large hit to the bottom line. You see what I'm saying? So again, that's why I would have to like look at the intricate details as to, because it might not be big to you, but you could be doing a lot of extra work that you could be charging for, which means that would drive that $2,000 price up. Or you might be a little too riding too high on that price, where if I spoke to you and I understood the details, I say, you know what, just do it for 15, because I'm sure they can find somebody to do it for a considerable lot less. So before I let you lose the deal where I know you can bring it down, I would try to help you uh, uh, evaluate the numbers and get you to see a bigger picture. Like, look, they can hire somebody else that'll do this for 12, right? And you're asking for, $2,000. Okay, so you have to make it make sense to me why it's $2,000, and you should have that based on your walkthrough, the information, the data that you collected, notes that you took when you did your walkthrough. It need to equate to $2,000. I have to see why you derived to that figure. You see what I'm saying? So let me continue to look here. Extra clean facts. Have you ever considered using a laser measure for square footage? You know what, Tony? I heard about that. I totally heard about that, but no, I haven't. Because my system been in place for so long. It's like, it's kind of like McDonald's changing the way they make, the Big Mac. They've been making it that way for so long that if you change it, it might mess up the whole dynamics of things. But I have heard about that. I'm not too familiar with it. Have you ever run across waxing, laminating, and a client want us to clean their floor? I know it usually $1. I can't say I've ran across that, Cody, to be honest. Not that I can remember. Hashtag Motivation King. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you. Yeah, free deep cleaning as a good offer. But yeah, for only a certain square footage building, you don't want to be breaking your back for peanuts on it. You're gonna get their account really really super clean, right? And then they're not gonna hire you, and then you did broke your back in for all of this stuff. So if you do a deep clean or a free clean, do it up to a certain square footage. Okay. I honestly say, okay, what if I have someone clean for me? How much would I pay them? If let's say it's 15. Again, you asking me questions that I can't really give you over a live, to be honest, Ozzy. Ozzy, you're the type of questions you ask me is the type of questions a client might call me and say, "Hey, look, I have this building that's 2,000 square feet. How much you're gonna charge me? Can you give me a quote over the phone?" See, that's the type of that's the same dynamics as to what you're asking me. I can't really say until I see the building or until I know the whole dynamics on it. Okay, $1,500 a month isn't a lot of money. An employee can eat through that really really quick. So there's a lot of dynamics. How many hours they're working, how many days a week they're working. Um, what are you paying them hourly? Are they subcontractor for you? Are they employee for you? Like, it's a lot of different factors, right? I know it's ridiculous, but specific take measures. What tape measures do we use? We don't necessarily use tape measures anymore. I have many different ones, actually, dude, to be honest. Um, you can actually go to Amazon and look it up and then go to YouTube and see how it's used, and whichever one make the most sense to you to buy, you can buy. That's what I would probably suggest you do, Tony. It's like you can just Google, um roller tape measures for commercial cleaning or whatever. They'll populate. You look it up in Amazon. Amazon, they'll give you a price, right? And before you go ahead and purchase it, just kind of see if you like the style of it. You try to YouTube it and see if you see someone using that particular one and how they use it, how they measure it, measure with it, that type of thing. And then if you like the way it looked, you got a good feel for it, go ahead and order it. Lewis, hey, what up, Five? Can't wait to get home to start my business. What's a good cheap vac cleaner to buy? Dirt Devil. Dirt Devil is a pretty decent one. Yeah, roller tape measure. Yep, yep. You get the roller wheel. Say I'm at 15%, you guys. Hold on here. Let me see if I could see here. Get my charger. Yep, you get the Dirt Devil. That's what I would probably suggest. It's cheap. It's it's not too expensive, and for us it does. We still use it to this day. It does pretty good. Pretty good work for us. Okay, I'm charging the phone, so yeah, not a problem, Lois. Not a problem. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to speak about with this video, you guys. I want you guys to really, really hone in on having a system, man. Getting your paperwork. I gave you examples of why it's important to have your paperwork, your invoices. Make sure, and a lot of people are calling me. They have accounts, and they're not being paid on time. A couple people say they 10 days late already, and I asked them when they send an invoice out, and they sent the invoice out late, so you're going to get paid late. Okay, you guys got to stay on the invoice. You have to stay on the invoice. Okay, I would suggest, especially if your clients are paying around the same time, or your clients paying around the same time a month, I would suggest you email again. My email is bookfabiohart@gmail.com. BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART@gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. All one word, all together. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. I think, like I said, you guys, and I'm gonna get back to your questions. I see you, James. I got you covered. Um, get your paperwork together. Get your paper. If you're marketing right now and your paperwork isn't together, put the marketing on hold right now. Don't and I thought I'd never tell anybody to put marketing on hold, but put the marketing on hold because you haven't gotten an account in the last 30 days, the last 60 days, whatever the case is, don't mean that you won't wake up tomorrow, go and hit the field and pull an account. And the worst thing ever is that they ask you to put in a bid and you don't have a spreadsheet, you don't have a template, you don't have no format, you don't know how to do it. Okay, get your paperwork together. Contracts is paramount. Get your contracts together. Okay, you don't have to have a Fabio contract. You don't have to pay $2,700 to sit down with a lawyer like I did. Okay, to get a contract. Again, get your paperwork together. I see you, Lewis. 1 second here. Let me go back up to James. James asks, is $1,100 insane for post-construction clean on 2 business offices and a lot? Yes, that's very cheap. That's, to me, it's very cheap. 1,800 square feet, interior windows, blinds, cabinets, no furniture. Yes, I would suggest that that's very on the low side. Do I think an email is a good thing for your company? What you mean? Yeah, email is good for anything. Yeah. I've been writing and trying to create a system since I spoke with you last month. How many packages should I have for residential cleanings? I have specific and a full. Should I offer them a medium? I'm assuming you're talking about like marketing package deals. You can have as many package deals as you want. You just have to itemize what packages, what they're going to get for this amount of money for package A, what they're going to get for package B, what they're going to get for package C. I'm really, really big on packages. Especially when you're just starting out, it could be one of the easiest ways that you can pick up new contracts, new accounts, because it just makes sense. All you have to do is convey to them what they're getting in package A, package B, and package C, and what's the difference with the price. One is $39.95, the other one is $49.95, the other one is $69.95. You got the platinum package, gold package, silver package, whatever the case is, whatever label you want to put on it, right? A package deal can be one of the most phenomenal things that you can ever do for your business in the very, very beginning, especially when you don't have any real big, background in giving estimates. It create an option. I like to use cereal. When I go to the market and buy cereal, if Kellogg's and Frosty Flakes was the only cereal on the market, that might irritate me if I went to Walmart and I say I want to buy a box of cereal and it's nothing but Frosty Flakes. But if I go to Walmart and I see Frosty Flakes, Captain Crunch, Cookie Crisp, and all these different cereals, now I have options. Another thing that I like to use is price-wise. When you have options, you got Kellogg, you got Post, and let's say you got the Walmart brand. Well, if you don't have Kellogg money and Post money, you might say, you know what, I'm going to just get the Walmart brand because it's a little cheaper. It might taste similar as the Frosty Flakes from Kellogg's, but you're trying the Walmart brand. You say, well, shit, Frosty Flakes is Frosty Flakes. And then you eat them and you say, you know what, the Walmart brand isn't so bad. I think I'm going to start buying this brand. It's cheaper, I save money, plus it don't taste bad, right? So again, that's the options. You know, it's always good. You say, can I name the paperwork in order? Just email me. Email me and I'll have, or ask Jasmine. You know, just say, hey, I spoke to Fabio, because there's a lot of different forms and paperwork that you want to have, you know, from your applications, your invoices. I mean, it's just, you know, certain forms you wanna have, you know, for your subcontractors, for your employees, for, you know. So just email me, bookfabiohart@gmail.com, 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 and I'll have Jasmine itemize that list for you, send you a list of forms you might want to look after, you might want to get, okay? Let me see, Ozzy, do we need to measure the facilities or the client should give us the building plan? Either way, you can do both. You can get the building plan. You can get the, you know, your building layout, the square footage, right? Some clients don't know their square footage, so you can kind of like Google, find it on Google, right? From when it was developed or whatever the case is, it'll tell you it was, you know, built such and such a, you know, time, and it's such and such a square foot. Okay, you can utilize it that way. Have you ever asked for referrals from clients? Yes, that's a very important thing to do. But I would say give it 6 months before you ask for a referral. Well, 3 to 6 months. Tony, he asked me, in order to come up with different packages with different price range, when you have to offer different services in addition to the criteria for the general cleaning. Yeah. So, you know, for an example, you have package A, and that might be just general cleaning. Okay. Package B might be general cleaning plus a touch of this, right? Package C is basically package A and package B combined with an extra twist to it. So you might be doing window cleaning for this, right? So in package A was just general cleaning, just general basic office cleaning. Boom, boom, boom. Package B was general office cleaning and, you know, let's say whatever could be considered extra, like whatever, like a little extra thing going on, right? So if they just want a general cleaning, you say, okay, for general cleaning, we offer this for $49.95, right? For, you know, our B plan, that's $69.95. So you're basically doing the same thing. You're basically doing the same thing in B as you're doing with A, but you're offering a little bit more. That's why the price is a little bit more. And then C is basically A and B combined with a little bit more added to that dynamic, which is why that's the top plan. So you give them options. So they might look at the price, and if they're just a price person, then they'll be like, you know what? I think I'll take B. I'll take the middle price. It's not too bad, and I get the best bang for my buck. So I wouldn't consider wiping the desk off as being extra or cleaning the keyboard, the computer keyboard. I wouldn't consider that being extra. Yep. Just add more things to the cleaning for the package. So, like I say, you might have a general package, which would be your cheapest package. That's your A package. Your B package is you add a little bit more. Yeah, you can start it in Miami then. Just add more to the packages and then let them pick. I can't get a bank. You think I can? Yeah, you can get banks. You can get banks. Just walk into them. Most likely they're going to give you, they're probably going to give you a corporate number to call. It's a certain way that you clean a keyboard. You don't press down on it. It's a certain way. You don't really have to press down on the keys. It's a certain utensil that you can use, a certain cleaning thing that you can use for the keyboard. You don't have to physically press down on it. He said, nah. Lewis, he said, what's a good price for an errand service? Want to look at offering this next year. Errand service, it depends on what type of errands you're doing and how consistent the errands is. If it's a regular errand that you're doing for a regular client, then you can be flexible with the price. If it's a one-time errand deal, you don't need to touch a keyboard. Well, if they dusty, you might need to. It shows a sign that you've been cleaning. Because a lot of times people think the cleaning crew isn't doing anything. But if the keys are dirty and let's say you're working out of cubicle areas, then people might suggest that they're like, damn, this cleaning company don't do nothing but change the trash, right? So if you kind of wipe off the desk where they got a cup stain, coffee stain, or, they got a napkin with lipstick on it, or the coffee ring around, on the desk, you want to, dispose that. And cleaning the keyboard is a sign of cleaning the phones. The handset, cleaning the base. Right. Yeah, they sell that Office Depot. The little can cleaners, sprays. You just spray. It's like air, basically, and it just kind of cleans it right then and there. Yeah. Yep, and they also have a utensil too that you can kind of clean it with. So you don't have to physically touch the keyboard and press down on it. You just, almost like a mop, like a keyboard mop. You just, and do it. Most people leave their computers shut off anyway. That I noticed. They'll turn the unit off, because they're gone. They don't want you to really necessarily see or want anybody to see what they've been working on. Chase Bank, how much can I charge here in Miami if I can ask? Oh wow. Chase is a pretty big bank. First, you want to do the walkthrough. So you keep wondering how much you can charge for any specific or any given account. You have to do the walkthrough, my friend. You have to do the walkthrough. Okay, you need to know how many times Chase needs you per week, how long it's going to take to clean Chase, what the dynamics of the job to clean Chase is. Okay, you have to know the details before you concentrate on the price. You have to know the details before, and that's for any account. Okay, Chase is a big branch, so a lot of times, because it's a big bank, so a lot of times because you might clean one Chase, they might suggest that you clean multiple branches, which is what we would consider a corporate account. Okay, corporate accounts could be, a doozy to have. Just because you have a corporate account don't necessarily mean you're making a lot of money or making a ton of money. Because they feel like we got a name, so we can hire any cleaning company. We don't even need your cleaning company. We can get any cleaning company in here. So that's, corporate accounts are big accounts. Okay. Now, I don't want to scare you. I'm not saying that because you go after one specific branch that they're gonna want you to, do other branches. They may or may not. But you're gonna have to go into Chase. You're gonna have to ask Chase who would be the appropriate person that you speak to for cleaning this facility. Okay, what Chase is going to do in terms, I'm pretty sure I'm right, what Chase is going to do is say, we don't handle this inside here or internally, you have to contact corporate. Here is the name, or here's the number, or here's the division or department that you will call, and they handle the commercial cleaning for cleaning our branch. We don't do that here inside. You have to contact corporate. Okay, so that's pretty much how it's going to go. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you got to get the specifics. Ozzy, I hope you got your paperwork. You got to have your paperwork together. Your paperwork is paramount. I'm trying to tell you. Because a lot of you guys got to stop being self-employed. A lot of you guys are cleaning your own facility. There's no room for you to make money or to expand your business because you're working within the business. Okay, now if that's what you want to do, if you're that type of person, you say, Fabio, and some people are like that. They're like, Fabio, you know what? I don't mind being a one-man operation. Your paper, what do I mean? Your paperwork. I'm talking about your agreements. Your breakdown, your checklist. All of this stuff is important. Okay, to give you an example of what I mean by checklist, a lot of times a company, you'll go in and do a walkthrough, right? You get a list of things that they want done. You have it on your checklist. Here it is, this is the checklist. You get to working for them, and then they ask you, can you clean this? Can you clean that? Can you clean this? Can you clean that? But it's not on your checklist. Okay, so you want to have a checklist for your sake, for your client's sake, and for the employee's sake. That way the employee can make sure that they're doing everything that's on that checklist. And that way that provide your client that you're cleaning for, hey, we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing. We're doing everything that I receive your paperwork. Thanks, Lou. Yeah, Lou is he a great guy. Lou is a great guy. He's on his way. Louis, he bought all my paperwork, all my documentation, all my paperwork, contracts. He bought everything, right? We got it out to him. He received it. It cost him a pretty penny, but he's very, very well equipped. He bought my contracts, right? And again, like I said, it's very, like he said here, it's very professional, Thanks. He got everything. The contracts he bought. I think he bought everything. I think he did. Everything. So Lewis, he's a good guy. Not because he made a purchase for me, but Lewis, he can still call me at any given time, and there's no extra fee. I don't charge him anything extra for anything, right? He can call me just because we built that relationship. He made a purchase from me. He's happy with the purchase. He got what he paid for, things of that sort. Now, if he need me, I'm there. I'm gonna always be an assistance to him, right? I'm gonna help him. I want him to win. But I do remember, I think he bought it last week, if I'm not mistaken, or the week before last. But anyway, he bought all our documents. He bought all of our paperwork, and the flyers, I think too. I think he got our latest flyers. But anyway, yeah, so that's good. But like I said, you guys want to make sure you have the paperwork together. Paperwork is very, very important. Very important. Okay. How can you do the same? You got to email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. I got everything launching in mid-May. I followed up with you on the progress. Yep. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Yep. He followed up with us. We made sure that he got what he paid for. If it was something he was missing, or it was a matter of a phone call or a matter of an email, we got it out to him. We just try to provide great customer service in that regard. So, but he did get everything that he paid for. Like I say, it's pretty pricey. It wasn't cheap for him. He'd tell you that it wasn't cheap, but it was where he saved himself a lot of headache, where he don't have to figure it out now, right? He bought it as a total package. He got the total package deal, all of the paperwork, forms, everything that we use to this day in my office, he bought. Right? And I don't even push it here on YouTube. It was just a matter of an email. He emailed to say, hey man, look, I'm starting a business. I just need the paperwork. And we got it. Right? And if it's something that we offered that he didn't get, that let's say we got a new form or a new document, we'll just send it to him free. Like, it's because he's already paid a considerable amount of money for it. So if it's something that he need and that we have, we'll just go ahead and get it out to him. No additional fee. But anyway, let me see here. I got everything. You got everything. Okay, he's launching in mid-May. I will follow up with you on the progress. Yeah, well, we're going to follow up with you too, because it's not about just selling you something and then telling you, take care. We sell you something, we follow up with you. I want to see you win. Well, you would know if you contact me. I mean, certain stuff you're gonna need, like the contracts and different things. You might not need everything, But once I get a gist of what you need, I wouldn't oversell you anything. I wouldn't say you need something that you probably wouldn't need. So if you don't need it and it doesn't apply to you, I wouldn't tell you to get it and it doesn't apply. Okay. But the logistics, like your invoices, you're gonna need that. You're gonna be able to have to invoice them, different stuff like that. Because a lot of stuff, templates and stuff that you find online, is just a bunch of lines, right? It's not really nothing that looks professional. It looks kind of cheesy, like somebody just, So with ours, we just kind of pride ourselves on it. That's all. But anyway, you guys got any more questions? Definitely. If you're looking to get anything from me, again, I don't market this stuff. I don't push it on YouTube no more. A lot of stuff I just stopped selling. But if somebody is really, really serious, really serious about something, that's my Facebook notification. So really, really serious about something, then I wouldn't mind helping you out. Okay. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. BOOKFABIOHART@gmail.com. My assistant Jasmine will be the one to take your email. If you're serious, dude, just email me. You got the email. Email me your name, your number, Jasmine, to get it over to me. The minute I get it, I'll call you. Don't sound like it, but I am. No. See, and that's the thing. Don't worry. It doesn't matter what no one else think, Ozzy. Doesn't matter what I think, what anybody else think. As long as you know in your heart, in your head, in your mind, right, in the gut of your stomach, right, that you're serious. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. Okay? Whether I believe you're serious or not, you shouldn't even care if I believe if you're serious, because you know internally that you're serious. Okay? And this goes for anybody that's watching this, or anybody. Don't care what everybody think about you. I promise you, don't care. Because the person that trying to down you, or the person that say you're not going to make it, you don't have what it takes, is the very person that's going to ask you for a job when you get established. That's going to be the very person that you're going to surpass in income level. They're still going to be making $12,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year, and you'll be doing that in monthly billing. Okay? So what they making a year, you're making monthly. Okay? It's very, very possible. It's very, very doable. Okay? So Well, like I say, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. The hell with what family think. The hell with what family think. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you have a dream. You have goals. You have aspirations. You have things that you want to do. Okay? And if it means that much to you to get it done, then you will get it done by any means necessary. Okay? So that's, you just got to do, there's no way around that. Okay? So, but like I tell people, you want to build your system. You want to, have that professional edge, right? From your business cards to your marketing material. I get surprised. Yeah, from your business cards, your supplies, your marketing material. You want to have that edge. See, a lot of times, like when I first started out, because I kind of took pride in myself and the way we look, from the outside looking in, a lot of people thought my company was a franchise because we were so polished just to be so new in 2012, like in the early stages of things. So, and that's because, I just started having people do stuff professionally. If I didn't like it, we took it back to the drawing board. I wouldn't start using my business cards until I liked the whole dynamic of it, right? I wouldn't start using my flyers or my marketing stuff until I liked the dynamics of it. All right. So, and as time progressed, things are going to change within your organization, within your company. Okay. So it's just, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. They get surprised when they say, "Oh wow, how much?" I say 4K or 7K. It all depends. Yeah, yeah. But you gotta do it for yourself. You can't do it for them. What he said, a lot of people are gonna hate. Yeah, they're going to hate. A lot of times, people do not believe in your dream until it become a reality. People do not believe in your dreams until it become a reality. Image, the first impression is everything. Personal development is key. Exactly what Lewis said. What Lewis said, he's absolutely correct. He's been listening to me. I've been coaching him, and he's learned a great deal. So he knows, your look, the way you look, the way you present yourself, right? That's going to have a lasting effect on people. The verbiage you use, catching eye contact with people, shaking hands, right? Meaning what you say, saying what you mean. If you promise you're going to do something, upon the agreement, then go ahead and do it. Make sure you get the job done. Okay? Don't make any excuses. Failures is just a temporary setback. You're en route to a full-time gain. That's just a temporary setback en route to a full-time gain. Okay? So, let me see here. Yeah, Melinda, you can use referrals from other companies, providing that it's okay. What I would suggest you do is, if you have any specific people at certain companies that you work for, you can use that specific person, okay, and not just the company itself, because the company might not speak favorable of you, or saying no comment is just as like saying, fuck her. I'm not about to give her no endorsement or no referral. I'm not about to refer her. For an example, when we do referrals, like for applicants, right, when they fill out the job application to work for me, we call their references. A lot of times they'll be like, I have no comment. To us, no comment is just as bad as just saying, no, fuck him. He didn't do good. He was late every day. To me, that's what that means. No comment. Otherwise, they would have something highly great to say. Hey Fabio, do you know anything about pressure cleaning? Nope, that's not my area of expertise. So I'd be lying to you if I told you I know a lot about it. I know something of it, but that's not my area of expertise. I don't excel in pressure cleaning. Sorry. Pretty well when I'm home. Yeah. I had a family member say it's going to be a lot. Mind you, her husband has a business, but it's so negative to me, saying it's too much paperwork. The reason he's so negative because he's not prospering. He's not prospering, right? He's not successful. Just because he has a business don't mean he's successful, or doesn't mean he's making a profit. And he can create an illusion, right? Like I can go out tomorrow and buy a fancy car, but that don't mean I'm profitable. Like I can go, like me, I have two places in Michigan, right? I have two residents, right? So I'm on a western suburban side of Detroit, and I also have a place in Berrien Springs, which is like 3 hours west of my current place, right? So, but just because I have two places and they have in decent areas, right? And pretty decent places, right? Doesn't mean that I'm wildly successful. So again, just because a person has something don't mean they're successful. They can be in credit card debt, they can be in foreclosure, they can be have a lot of stuff going on, right? So that's why I tell people don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen, because generally speaking, successful entrepreneurs don't mind sharing information. They don't feel threatened by if you start your business. I have people right here in my local area that's my subscribers on YouTube. I have people right here in my local area that's subscribers here on YouTube that I bumped into, and I do not fear the fact that they're going to take my business, because as long as I do great work, a company is not going to be looking to get rid of my company. They're not going to be looking to get rid of me, right? So I don't fear. I don't fear that. So, that's how I'm able to, teach you guys and whatever, like I operate in Toledo, Ohio. I might have subscribers in Toledo, right? But I don't feel threatened by anybody that's in Toledo. I operate in Michigan. I'm sure I have subscribers in Michigan, but I don't feel threatened by anybody that subscribes to me in Michigan. Atlanta, Georgia, Stone Mountain to be specific. Like I operate in Stone Mountain, right? So that's where a lot of my accounts are. That's in Georgia. It's in Stone Mountain, Georgia, right? In Atlanta and surrounding areas. But I don't feel threatened by anybody in Atlanta when it comes down to my business, because when you know what you know, can't nobody take that from you. When you do a great job, can't nobody take that from you. When you're fair on the pricing, can't nobody take that from you, right? So, I mean, it just is what it is, right? So, but a lot of entrepreneurs that's struggling, that's not successful, generally speaking, they're unhappy individuals, and what they tend to do is put their unhappiness off on you, okay? But you don't have to accept it. My cousin dad said that a cleaning company is too much work, and it's better if I go to college and study. As soon as you say go to college, you already know what his mindset is. He has a employee mindset, simply put, point blank, period. My cousin said don't listen to anyone, even if my dad, even my dad, because if I put in work, work and not eat. Shit. Yeah, yeah. What you said, Ozzy. It's really enough for everybody to come together, King. Yeah, yeah. It's enough for everybody to come together, man. It's a lot of money out here, right? I can't monopolize the industry if I wanted to. So that's, yeah. Let me see here. Lewis said, not saying anyone should what I do, but I told my family and girlfriend that I'm with you or without you. And I got nothing but support and respect. Don't be afraid to grow. Yeah, you're going to get respect. And that's the thing, Lewis. Some people will motivate you. You're going to have everybody family is in dysfunctional. Some people have more dysfunction than others, but some people family are more embracing, more loving. How can I help you? If you need me, let me know. And with that type of attitude, you'll go very, very far. But the way the human mind is programmed is like, if I'm not doing it, you can't do it. So a lot of times people automatically, unsubconsciously just tell you what you can't do because they haven't done it. Well, I didn't graduate from college, so I know you ain't gonna graduate from college. No, that's not true. You know, well, I never started a cleaning business, so how you think you can start a cleaning business? You're my cousin. You can't do it if I haven't done it. That's not true. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I say, a lot of times people do not believe in your dream until it become a reality. Let me see here. Do you think that is a person save X amount of dollars in profit before they start spending? When is it safe? Do you think that a person should save X amount of dollars? You don't necessarily have to save. You can, but you don't. The saving will pretty much set you back, if you ask me, in terms of getting it started. So you can spend a little and make a little, spend a little and make a little, spend a little and make a little, right? So you can try one marketing campaign, or you can buy this. That's why I tell people all the time. Like, people think they have to go and get a bunch of vacuum cleaners and a bunch of different chemicals and product solutions and things of this sort. You don't have to get a lot of that stuff, right? You can start with what you have with at home, to be quite frank and honest, right? And then as you make more money, you buy more things. You can start with the vacuum cleaner that you have at home. Like, my first vacuum cleaner cost me $25, and I got it at the secondhand store. I got it at the resale shop, Salvation Army to be specific. So I bought a vacuum cleaner, one old fashioned. I still have it to this day. It's right in a warehouse, right? We don't use it anymore, but it still works. My equipment, I bought my equipment from a liquidation center. When I'm talking about my buffers, my carpet cleaning machine, all of that, this is my initial stuff. I have new stuff now, more up-to-date stuff. But as long as it worked, it did what I needed it to do, I went on and bought it because I got a pretty good deal at it at a liquidation center. So that's how I got like my buffer and my waxer and different things like that. Okay, so again, you start somewhere. Okay, but you don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to advertise the fact that you bought a buffer. Advertise the fact that you got one client, two clients. Okay. Let me see here. Tony said, you go to college, learn necessarily to get a job. Big misconception. That's absolutely right, Tony. And I'm a college graduate. You're absolutely right. I do not use on a regular basis what I was taught in college. He is the only person supporting. Yeah. Great return on investment properties in Atlanta. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Tony, I would actually. Doing. Yeah. Go to college with a different mindset. Yeah, yeah. I mean, college can help. I mean, it just provide. The only thing college do is give you a paper to say you're worth a little bit more than the next guy that don't have a college degree. That's all that does, really. When you say I have this paper, there might be a guy that don't have the degrees and certificates and things of that sort that can outwork you, that can outshine you. But you would just make more money because you went through this college system, got this document, it's certified, so they're going to pay you more because you went and you got the textbook version of what this guy might be able to outdo you with. So I'm not telling people not to go to college. I'm just saying it's not necessarily needed in today's marketplace. Unless you're trying to go for a specific career. You want to be an engineer, you want to do this, you want to do that. And they say the only way we're going to hire you if you're a college degree, if you're a college graduate, right? So in that regard, you will need it. But if you go and you learn a specialized knowledge, you can take what you learn, build a business, and you can outdo, the company that you're trying to go after. It's possible, Got to get back to work. I saw you on live and don't know when I have a service again. Thank you for the. Oh, no problem, Louis. No problem. Anytime. You should watch Fabio videos of the first 5K, man. I fucking love that video. It gave me happy because I can't imagine starting growing to 5K to 12. Yeah. Great video, buddy. Yeah, Ozzy, that's one of my most popular videos. People, most times when I talk to people, they bring that video up to me because it was my first 5K. It was man, it was an experience. And if you haven't watched that video, you probably want to watch that video. It's my story time of what happened when I first got my first $1,000 check of total monthly billing. That's the video that he's talking about. So you can watch my story time. It's very motivating, very realistic, and this shit actually happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? So let me see. I'm not good with exams, books. My grammar sucks, this and this and that. Guess what? Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, a lot of these people grammar suck too. They're not good with studies. You know, a lot of these people been locked up, you know, street kids, getting in trouble. But they still had the mindset and the know-it-all to know that what they wanted to do, how they should execute on it, why they went the route they went. They have their reasons, and now look at them. So you don't have to be a type A student to really make it in whatever industry or industry, you know. Joe said, "Dear Fabio, I often listen to your videos while working, so I can't give any feedback even though I want to. Today, I have off, so I want to thank you from Taiwan again." Thank you, all the way from Taiwan. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do. I wish you, you know, great success with your business if you're starting one, whatever business you're starting, whether it's commercial cleaning or residential, or whether it's not even in cleaning. It might be in the tech industry, whatever the case is, right? Or real estate, whatever it is, you can really, really do it. Really, really do it. You got to work consistent, got to stay at it. You know, I want you to win. You don't have to run a cleaning business for me to want you to win. I just really want you to win. How much money did you have before you felt like it was safe to start spending money on yourself? Well, you probably want to watch my first $5,000 because I started spending money right away. Like I said on that video, I thought I was Donald Trump before my time. You know, it was coming in, and man, I was on my employees. I just watch that video; it'll give you a lot of insight. But shit, I'm a cologne guy. Right now, I own over 60 bottles of cologne. Like that's what I have at home right now. Over 60. I keep an inventory. The minute I run low on something, I go out and get it. I never want to run out. Right? Because you got so many bottles, I'll forget what I don't have. Right? So I'm a cologne guy. You know, I like to dress and stuff like that. I got clothes with tags at the house right now. You know, I buy these designer shit and I don't even wear them. And we call them buffs in Detroit, which is Cartier glasses. You know, I got a couple pairs of them. I spent so much. I got the diamonds in them and, you know, embedded in them and things like that. And I don't wear them because I get more anxiety that if a diamond fell out or if they get scraped up and I spend all of this money for it, right? So that's what I'm saying. So, but like I said, in the very beginning stages, I was spending like clockwork. Like I was totally missing the boat on everything, right? I was late paying my employees. I would give them excuse that I know their check is short, and then it would come to me and be like, Fabio, my check is short, and I'll be like, I was like, oh man, your check is short, really? Damn, how'd that happen? I'd be like, you sure your check was short? I'd say, okay, well, whatever is short, we're gonna make it up next pay. Just like employers say, right? The next pay come, it's even shorter than it was before. So now I owe them not only from the first check, I owe them for the second check. And then shit got real because they started quitting on me. They're like, fuck this, man. I'm not about to keep working for this guy. And he's, You know, he's keep short of my check. I'm not about to keep working. I'm not about to keep. So then they call off. Okay, so this is at this point. I think I had like 2 employees at this point. They call off, right? Or 3 employees, one and the other, 2 or 3. They call off, and now I'm forced to. I have to clean all of this shit myself. So now I'm tired because I got so comfortable with not having to do it because I had employees to do it. All I had to do was oversee and watch and make sure they was doing it right. And here they start calling off because the money wasn't there, the check wasn't there. Just watch that video. It's my story time video of my first $1,000 check. Let me see. How much money? Okay, let me see. It's mental conditioning, like building a muscle. Correct, exactly, Tony, what Tony said. Laughing out loud. You tell it like it is. Yeah, that's how it is. I'm a type FDC student, but my counselor said it's lazy, just did like I did. 12th grade in 5 months. I had a 1.3 GPA, was failing. Got my shit together and got a 3, but graduated with a 2. I stopped doing work. I remember that. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes, Ozzy. Would you suggest working temporary agencies? What you mean, like with my company? You know, hiring temps to come in? No. Because everybody I hire in, and for the most part, let's say on a day porter situation, are already temps enough, you know. So that's, you know, most people that I hire just work 4 hours, you know, like on a daily, like max, you know, whether they just work on one contract. I have some people that go from contract to contract just to make up hours, right? So they can get a nice, pretty sizable check. So, but if you just go to the same accountant, the same accountant's like twice a week, 4 hours a day, then that's 8 hours a week, right? So, I don't. Let me see. How old are you, RTD? Yeah. Yeah, man, if you're pursuing college, get it done ASAP. Yeah, you know. I would never tell anybody to drop out. If you're in that thing, just go ahead and make it work. Keep your head on the swivel, but don't, if you want to start a business, don't let college disrupt that. Because it can't. Most people are like, oh, I'm going to wait till I graduate college, then I'm going to start my business. Shit, no. I was always hands-on. I was always hands-on. Like when I read a book, I take my book, I read it, I learn something, and then I go ahead and apply it right away. I do Uber. I'm a barber. Opening barbers. Okay. There's nothing wrong with Uber. I took Uber format and like the system. I studied Uber. I studied Lyft. Took their thing. I started my own local transportation company locally. Marketed through Facebook. In weekly revenue, we probably generated like $2,200 a week, and that's just on a very small scale. And that's just with Facebook marketing. Oh, okay. You got a system. You got you got some structure, Ozzy. Keep it up. You got some structure. He said after he get his first 6K, start making 6K, he's gonna go to college. Nothing wrong with that. You guys got any questions for me? If you need to email me, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Do you guys have any questions for me before I get out of here? Say then you call me so we can open up a franchise. Okay. McDonald's. Thanks, love you. Love you more. McDonald's, I don't know about McDonald's. Later is 3 a.m. Thanks for the info. Always useful. Not a problem, James. Thank you. Thank you. You guys have any more questions for me? I want to make sure I answer your questions. Don't know when I'll be going live. Appreciate the inspiration, Fabio. Keep these videos coming, dude. Thank you, Tony. Love you, bro. Let's see. Are all your videos early morning? Share pop. No, Share. Actually, we've been on live for almost 3 hours, so I think I came on at 11 something. They're generally late speaking because I'm so busy during the day. A lot of times, if you catch it that day, I might be, at home or something and do a video live. But for the most part, they're generally around the same. I don't know what other questions besides the numbers, how much to charge. Well, I have an estimate breakdown sheet. The numbers will depend on the square footage. It'll depend on how long it's going to take you to clean it, actually what you're doing, what you're actually cleaning. Feeling empowered, thanks. Lola, no problem, inshallah, I love you. You guys can do it. I mean, I love my subscribers here. You guys, we're like a family, here. And I really want you guys to win. I really hope with the information I give you guys I think I got over 400. Okay, it's 2 a.m. my time. Yeah. I got over, I believe, over 400 videos. And it's just so much information, you guys. Like, it's really so much information. The main focus of any business is staying consistent and persistent, right? Willing to overcome any odds, willing to do what it takes to become successful, okay? Not allowing anybody to disrupt how you feel about yourself and disrupt how you feel about starting your business, okay? What the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve only if you take action. What the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve only if you take action. Okay? So you have to take action. You have to stay at it. It's paramount. It's imperative. Okay? I know some of you might have kids. Some of you might have ailing parents and grandparents and people that you want to do things for. Some of you might want to go on certain vacations or change your demographic, change your where you reside at. And this business right here, this business is a shoestring budget business. You can start this thing with a mop, chemicals that you have at home, the vacuum cleaner that you have at home, and you're in business. It's really literally this simple. You don't need a franchise. You don't have to pay $2,000, $3,500, $4,000, $5,000 to do this business. Okay? You can start on a shoestring. I started with $200. I took a risk. Everything else was sweat equity. What is sweat equity? Actions that I took on my own. That's sweat equity. Okay, I put in work. And I kept doing it until, I got traction. Once I got traction, that made me a new believer in myself. So whatever I did to get one account, I just did it again and got another account. Whatever I did to get 2 accounts, I did to get my 3rd account. So forth and so forth. Okay? And that's how a system is built. Okay? If you guys model, you can model companies. You might get a better result, a similar result. Okay? But if you model somebody who's already successful, who's already doing it, you take their formula, you take their format. I talk to a lot of people. I tell them exactly what I do. They get on a coaching call with me, right? I tell them, hey, this is what I did, man. This is what I did. Try this, try that, try this, try that. And I say, it's not going to work overnight. I say, if you think that I'm telling you this now and you're going to get off the phone with me and you're going to try it for 1 week and you're going to hit home runs, it's not going to happen. I'm here to tell you that. So I don't want you to think that it's going to happen that way. But you, based on your persistence, you'll be able to get everything that you want to get out of life. Only depending on how persistent you be. The cleaning restaurant business. Yeah, man. I mean, just learn as much as you can learn about it, Ozzy. Learn as much as you can learn about restaurant cleaning. Okay? Look at videos, target niche videos. There should be videos on YouTube about restaurant cleaning. Just YouTube it, Google it, print off information. That's how I did in the very beginning. I still do that. I see little kids all over the country. They're like 22 years old. The last guy I read a story, he's actually in Toledo, Ohio. And no, he's in Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio, he was young as shit, right? And making a ton of money in commercial cleaning. In little old Dayton, Ohio. If you guys from Dayton, you know how small Dayton is, right? So, but he's making a ton of money in a small marketplace. Dayton is so freaking small, right? So, but I read his story online again, and I get motivated by that. So again, you when you want something, you do certain things to show how bad you really want it. You do certain things to show how bad you really want it when you want something. So you got to ingrain yourself into this stuff, you guys. You got to ingrain yourself into this stuff. Okay? It's just the power of thought. If there's a book that I would tell you guys to read, to go and pick up, or to order, or go check out the library, is the Magic of Thinking Big. The Magic of Thinking Big. Okay, so that's a pretty good book. That's a very enlightened book. The information in that book is very duplicatable. You can duplicate that, right? Again, it's paramount, you guys. I can't say this enough. You have to know what your capabilities are. Start with what you can do. Whatever you can't do, don't worry about it. Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't say, oh, I can't do this, so I guess I'm not going to start. Okay? Start with $1,000. Are you in Ohio? No, I'm in Michigan, but I operate in Ohio. So, let me see here. I'm probably looking at the wrong videos. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is, as long as you don't want to look at my videos just for the entertainment purposes. You don't want to, I see you, Joe. I'm gonna get to you in a minute. You don't want to watch my videos just for the entertainment. You want to watch it for the educational purpose. Sure, I have some levels of entertainment in the video, just to keep you guys' attention, not to bore you guys. But the fact of the matter is, you want to watch my videos so you can get that success that you're looking for. Okay. Let me see. I accidentally sprayed 75% alcohol on a customer's expensive wood table days ago. It looked awful now. I am not sure they noticed, but it was about 7 days ago. I don't know. They probably didn't notice it, but what were you using alcohol for? That's not really a cleaning solution that most cleaners use. But what were you using that for? I'm in Michigan too. Okay. It's amazing how much info you're willing to share. Thank you. Yeah, not a problem, Sherry Poppy. It's just, I really want you guys to be successful. I want you guys to be successful. I work I'm in a lot of parts of Michigan, right? I'm in Pontiac. I'm all over Detroit, east, west, north, south. It counts downtown. I have Redford, Livonia, Novi, Madison Heights, Sterling Heights, East Point. Well, I just lost an account at East Point, but so I'm everywhere. I have accounts in Flint, Michigan. You guys probably heard about the water crisis in places. The water crisis in Flint. I have accounts in Flint, Saginaw. Saginaw is really my favorite go-to city. If anybody ever want to catch me, you probably could find me on any given weekend in Saginaw, Michigan. I don't know why I love that city so much. It's probably the most violent city, but I like it for whatever reason, right? But yeah, I mean, all the way out to Berrien Springs, you know, west of Detroit. I do business in a little town called Benton Harbor, Michigan, right? So it borderline like Chicago and Indiana, you know. So do you ever use different products to clean it for yourself? No, we pretty much stay consistent. Whatever we run low on, I just go down to the warehouse, the storage facility, and grab a new bottle of it. Like, so we really don't switch up too much. If it worked, we don't change it. We just go ahead and order more of it. So, hold on, let me show you guys. Let me go get a product real quick if it's available. I'm going to show you guys what we use. 1 second. Hold on, you guys. Look like my staff took it out, you guys. I was gonna show you. If you guys hold on, I can run next door. I gotta run outside to another. Well, I'll show you on another video, but I can show you the exact. You can get a nice Nutri cleaner, a nice all-purpose like Nutri cleaner. They got this product called Green Clean that we use. I'm in Michigan too. It's amazing how much. I think I read that already. Yeah, I read that. Use one of our cleaners had a day off, and I worked at the account for her. Oh, you didn't know alcohol was in the spray bottle? Yeah, I don't know. I would have to figure out, Joe. I think you should figure out how did alcohol wound up in your spray bottle. That's something that you have to talk to one of your employees about. I would like to talk to you mainly about employee attraction and retention. SharePop, just go ahead and email me. Email me, please do. I want you to win. Email me. You know, it won't be no charge for that. I'm not going to charge you nothing. Just email me your name and your number, and my assistant Jasmine, she'll get it over to me, and I'll give you a call. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. Just put your name. You have a unique YouTube username, so put your YouTube username in the subject line, and when she get it over to me, just you know, give her your name and your number, tell her you need to talk to me ASAP. She get it over to me, I'll personally call you. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART@gmail.com. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. I would love to help you. Where can I order the Green Clean? You can actually get the Green Clean off of, it might be on Amazon. Here, let me see here. Let me see if I can find a picture of that stuff that I was looking for, you guys. I'm sure it's in the next building. It's not over here. Let's see. Uh, okay. Okay, here's one. Simple green. And that's at Walmart. That's if you, these are little products if you're looking at, and you're not going to the janitor supply store to purchase. And here's the other one, green clean. So, but the one, let me see, the one that I was trying to show you guys, that the one I was gonna go get the jug. It's like a neutral cleaner too. Let me see. What's the name of that stuff? Fabuloso. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get the one. Here we go. This is the one that I was looking for. It's really good. It's pretty decent stuff. Has a nice little smell to it. But if you guys forget, when you email me, just ask me about it, and I could have my people send it back to you or whatever. But Home Depot, Walmart for green clean, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're here snapping pictures. Oh, screenshotting. Okay. Yep, yep. You get them from home. You can get those, from Home Depot. And that's if you guys not trying to go the commercial right, where you're going to the janitor supply house, or where you ordering them offline, having them shipped. If you guys just trying to find just decent products, my problem is taking off grease. Yeah, well, that'll be a good one. So, but depending on how the grease is caked up, you might have to let it sit overnight. Let product sit overnight to break it up, loosen it up, so it'll be easier to clean. But anyways, you guys have any more questions? Anything that we could talk about? If you're trying to order anything, or you need anything, you want me to help you with your you got any contracts, anything you want me to take a look at, feel free to email it to me, your bids before you turn them in, your estimates, whatever the case is. Be sure to just get them over to me. I'll take a look at them for you and tell you what I suggest. That's bookfabiohart@gmail.com. BOOKFABIOHART. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. You guys have any more questions? How can you find employees? Email me. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. There's multiple ways that I find my employees. Is that it, you guys? That's it? All right, well, that look like that's it. That's going to do it for now. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. I want you guys, I'm done, bro. I don't know what else. Okay. It is you. I want you guys to definitely take action. Again, if you have anything you want me to take a look at, feel free to email it to me as soon as possible. You can get it over to me. I will get back with you guys. Other than that, I'll talk to you later. Take care.